All right, we're almost there. Now all I need to do is capture the
The video.
Firefox video without everything going really badly. Fox. Okay. Yes, perfect.
I've already, since I was looking for the soundtrack actually, very annoying. I went on YouTube and punched in Enfield and I saw the kind of content that's released. There's actually that one guy that I saw on Twitter that's like doom posting on about Enfield actually made a video on YouTube, like a 90-minute video of uh Enfield is a bad game that's for no one and nobody should play it or something. I don't know. It's really I people just hate shit. It's insane.
Yeah, people are just saying things to say things. I don't even really buy that that is his honest opinion.
Yeah, it's just outrage content
Mm,
for the YouTube. It's fine.
yeah, I
We've
mean,
it Yeah, it's been kind of because this has come up back in the day when our boy Ego Raptor did his sequelitis videos, which have been memed on for being very silly because he complained about stuff like in Ocarina of Time you have to wait before like the enemies like before you can attack them. He was mentioning like the Stalfos fight or whatever,
uh-huh.
and my answer to that was this guy literally exaggerated to be funny. That's the point of the video because it's entertainment. And
Yeah,
then he actually replied to that like Twitter post, not to mine, but just to general to say, yeah, I just exaggerated because I think it would be funny, and also to like stir the pot because it's really fun. Was fun at the time to shit on people or like to shit on everyone's favorite game, which is Ocarina of Time, and I get that.
yeah,
Sometimes it's just really fun to be like contrarian to the popular thing,
yeah,
but for gacha games, it's just all brain rot. It's just all bad. All right, what do I
yeah.
need to do?
Hmm?
Oh yeah, I need to like put my YouTube chat in my OBS. That's the thing I have to do manually. But if you want to start, we can start at any time.
I mean, if you want, we can talk really quickly about our hopes and dreams and expectations and so on and so forth for this stream and
All right.
Arknights in general. I mean, it's a
Um.
40-minute video. We don't have to start right away. It's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah. Do you filled out the surveys, right? That's kind of
Yeah, I've tried my best to film out with as much useful feedback as possible. But at some points, they just ask me about stuff that I really didn't care about, like, oh, hey, how did you like the narrative in the arbitrary quarry thing plays? And I was like, oh my god, dude, I
it's
don't even,
the
barely
surveys are
even
very
remember.
redundant. That's just data collection
Yeah.
bullshit, and everything's like uh and thankfully, in the recent surveys, they give you the option to skip a couple of things because
Mm,
you've already answered them, which is really good because I actually needed that. But yeah, I think in general, I think the for me this I enjoy uh, the music, the voice acting, the story. So as long as they keep focusing on making interesting characters, um, I everything that I'm asking for in quotation marks is stuff they're already doing. So they're hiring interesting voice actors. The character's always going to be nice. It feels bad to ask for. Please make characters that cater to me specifically. It's like,
yeah.
okay, I get it, but that's not really constructive in a way. Um,
I mean,
but
yeah.
I think in like the most useful feedback I can give is try to move the narrative away a little bit from the administrator
Mm,
and let the characters breathe and shine in their own right.
mm,
It's probably not going to happen because every character story is probably going to be told out of Edmund's point of view. But it would be nice to just have because the coolest part of Xenozone Zero was when you were actually not controlling the main character because
mm,
there was like a a small side story where you play as Jane Doe, and she's kind of like on an infiltration mission because she's like
A
kind of a
spy
sneaky
kind of thing. Yeah.
spy, and that was really cool because she gets to like voice her inner thoughts and stuff like that, and
Mm,
outside of just being the everyone's darling because that's what the gacha protagonist is, and
mm,
I kind of hate that this is kind of really cliche in this case. I get it because it makes sense from the story point of view that the Endman is like basically the Jesus, as you said, but that kind of thing is also the thing that filtered me from Blue Archive within 5 minutes because
uh,
every character calls you sensei or whatever and is like head over heels for you, and it's like that just too much.
yeah, no, I totally get it. It can totally feel overwhelming sometimes to be the protagonist in a game. But I mean, they've shown in original Arknights that things can be totally different. There are a lot of story events where the Doctor does not even like show up or play, or
Yeah,
only shows up like very briefly at the end. I mean, the most recent event we got, the Ave Musica collab one, that a lot of people praised. Arknights
right.
fans praised it because it was just a pretty cool story. Ave Musica fans praised it because they felt like their favorite characters were like very well represented and implemented into the world and plot of
Hmm.
the thing. And the Doctor didn't even show up a single time in that entire event. So yeah.
Right. It is kind of funny when and during some events at the very end they do show up and like just put like a Rhodes Island office in there or something.
Yeah.
It's just okay.
Uh,
Now we're here too.
yeah. Oh, hey, you guys, you all just went through this like prison break whole story thing or whatever. Oh, huh. Okay. Well, he's the Doctor at the end, and he's welcoming everybody to World's Island. It's the end. That's how we're
I,
here
I
now.
I did like the I don't know which chapter it was. Was the chapter with with like with like Outlaw and the bagpipe one where they basically are in that one city that gets like bombed or whatever.
Mm,
When it starts in just like in Rhodes Island's branch office, so you kind of know it is still the faction, but it's just the people who have been there for like a long time and they've just been kind of stationed. So it's like adjacent, but you're still you're just the reader, I guess, in this case. You're not the main protagonist. I kind of hate
mm.
that. It just always rubs me the wrong way.
Really?
Again,
Okay.
Genshin had like the best part about Genshin's recent story is the part where the traveler gets kidnapped and
Oh.
then everyone else has to spend like 2 hours or something getting them back. So you're just not there anymore, and everyone just kind of scrambles about. And it's a fun thing. Like even seeing Paimon like completely like break down because the main character isn't here anymore. It's really fun because that really brings out the most out of the characters, I think. But I'm pretty
Mm.
sure we have seen they do this. The question is, do they want to do something like this for Enfield? And I'm just gonna keep typing in the survey until they do. So that's my wish. Just put the Endman to sleep. He can rest. Or she.
Again, for another 100 years or so, and then we
Yeah.
do it all over. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, for me, like personally, and I wouldn't even say that's like a really valid complaint. But for me, my biggest problem with Arknights Enfield was really, it got released. I played it for like 2 weeks straight, and I literally ran out of things to do. I did all the story, I did all the side quests, I did every little thing. I picked up every single chest and collectible and whatever. And yeah, I collected almost all the medals. I'm only missing like a few medals. And then I was just like logging in once per day and doing my dailies, whatever, the typical grind. And that I realized that that is a big problem for me, but I also realized that is a big me problem because I decided to sit down and play the game like that. Meanwhile, a lot of my friends, like you included, uh, are like not even at the point where I am after 1 month, so, right? You still have like
Right.
little tiny things
I
that
have
you could
nothing to
be
do.
doing. You oh
I have
okay
I've
okay.
I've done everything. No, I've been to that point. I just started like very slow because I was stuck at work and something like that. So I was just going, and I kind of did things out of order where like
Mm,
I explored everything of Valley 4 before setting foot into Wuling, and that kind of like delayed my resources and stuff. Mm, I get what you mean. That's unfortunately the truth of the live service cancer.
Yeah.
You usually just start off with like a small chunk of content, and then they just keep adding onto it, and you just usually have to wait for the release cycle. I hate it too. Um, the reality of the situation is that that's kind of, you can't really change that. You can't make them release stuff faster.
Yeah.
They, it's honestly, uh, I've accepted my fate, but I also don't like it. That's why I would love to get like obsessed about one particular game. And we know this from MMOs. It's a lot easier to like waste all your life in an MMO because it feels like there's more stuff to do,
Hmm.
and there's more like infinite grind stuff, and you can always make new characters and stuff. But gacha games cut you
Yeah.
off very very quickly. There's just not stuff to do. You can't play it like an MMO. And I
Yeah.
did. I completed the crafting walk, and there's like people who are doing side quests, filling every pond with Shironite and like putting pipes everywhere and stuff like that. That's cool, but
It's not.
it's a little silly.
Yeah, it's not really something you could consider content. Like it's just people, trying to find their own fun. But to be fair, I actually considered playing World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade, which like released recently for the third time in our history, which is
Which one is it? Is it
anniversary.
anniversary?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
anniversary.
Okay.
So that's something I considered, but then I sat down. I was like, okay, what do you like realistically do if you like reach level 70? You do your like dungeon reputation grinds, blah blah blah. You get pre-biz and so on and so forth, and then finally, after like 2 weeks of non-stop grinding, you finally enter the raid. You raid with the people you found for like 2 hours, and that's it. And then you log
Yeah.
out and you wait until next week, or you, like you said, make a new character and do the exact same thing that you already did again. And is that really that much better than playing Endfield for 2 weeks and then running out of content and then moving on to other things? Uh,
I have,
Arguable.
interestingly enough, I have a visceral experience or like memory from Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade is the expansion that I played the most back when it was out in Classic, or like
Mm,
vanilla. Vanilla. Classic is the new, you know what I mean.
yeah.
Back in 2006, that was the one I played the most, and I have fond memories of it, but I also know that the content itself is kind of boring.
Mm.
Um, so I went back for Classic with a bunch of friends. We actually did a LAN party, where
Oh,
we got like 4 people together. The fifth
okay.
one, unfortunately, had to play from home.
Okay. That was in
And
2021, right? Yeah,
yes,
the
something
remake.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The
Mm.
first time it became it was just a regular Classic, but I was actually late to the party, so I had to like power level a warrior because
Mm.
they needed a tank. So they helped me with that stuff. That was really funny. For like a week or two before we met, they had to like drag me through all the content. So they had like boosting mages and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I got Edge Master's gauntlets in Classic. I
What?
sold them for sold them for 5,000 gold. Then I
Jesus.
spent that money on Zul'Gurub like runs for XP,
Oh
which is
man.
really, because I'm not sitting on a warrior for like the last 5 levels. Those are like actual pain. It's
Yeah.
I it's at that point it's good because you can do dungeons, but if the expansion is coming out, you don't need to do dungeons because it's just inefficient.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, to be fair, they did raise the leveling speed for
right,
1
they
to
did that.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
Mm.
all that bad. No, but
But I needed
yeah.
I needed to be 60 for like the release, and then I was like a green equipped tank that had to tank versus 2 warlocks that were full Nex Rammus gear, which is really really funny. That
Yeah.
did not work at all. But I was literally just support spamming the Fury Shout, piercing howl for slow, and just like charging targets, and I didn't do any tanking. It wasn't even possible because heroics are actually really tough. They hit hard,
Mm.
and like the regular dungeons. But yeah, that was my experience. Karazhan sucks ass. It's such a bad raid.
No, dude,
It's good.
no.
It's good the first time, and then if you have to do it again, it's actually so
Yeah.
bad.
It does get
That's
pretty. It does drag on after you do it a couple of times.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's cool. It felt good.
It's flavor wise, it's good. I love the
Yeah.
curator.
Yeah.
Menageries for guests only.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I love him. He's so good.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Do we want to start on the stream or do we like delay any further?
I don't know if I'm up to talk more about World of Warcraft for another hour or so, but yeah, let's start with Endfield already. I'm getting excited. I'm ready.
Okay.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1, go. All right.
各位管理员们好，我是明日方舟周末地的游戏制作人海
Oh
毛
my
肉
god.
和物。此
German.
时此
I
刻
got German.
就在我们录制的
Oh,
当下，
yeah, I do
回
have
望
German
明日方舟
subs.
周末
Okay,
地的
but
正式
also
公
English
测呢，
subs.
已
Alright.
经过去半个多月了。在这段时间里啊，我们感受到了全世界管理员们的认可和喜爱。明日方舟周末地的全球游玩人数、在线时长和活跃度呢，都远远超出了我们上线前的预期。也很荣幸能在这里和大家分享这份喜悦。也请允许我向你们说一声感谢，管理员，你们的喜爱就是我们持续创造塔维尔的意义。当然啊，期待也是一体两面的。那我们也明白啊，我们的作品还远远不能满足大家的期待，但管理员们的热情坚定了我们持续打磨周末地的决心。在这段时间里啊，我们持续阅读、整理并讨论管理们留下的体验意见。这些反馈啊，也为后续的开发提供了清晰的方向。
You gotta listen to your community, but you have to also not listen too much because your community is freaking stupid.
各种现有数据，
You need to
推
push
进
your
优化，
vision
力
onto
求
the
为各位
community.
管理
You
员
don't-
带来
you
更
can't
优质的
bend
游
too
戏
much
体验。
because, like,
所以啊，
you're
这次
destroying
我
the
们也想
original
用这样一种
vision.
特殊的节目形式，和各位管理员们聊一聊一些即将落地的优化细节，
You
以
actually
及即
blocked
将到来
it.
的
Both
新版本
blocking
内容，还有未来的制作方向。
the subtitles. All right, game improvement. Game actually run pretty
那
well
这
for
次
me.
优化覆盖
Yeah,
范围很
also
广，
ran pretty well for
从干
me.
员养成、资源获
Okay,
取
yeah,
到
you're
战
right.
斗交互、系统迭代，那我们从多个模块重新审视。接下来我们会先从各位管理员最关心的，也是最直接影响体验的部
Oh
分开
wait,
始介
this
绍
is。actually.
那比如在研发通讯中啊，我们提到过
Do，you want to?
我们进行了
I
系列
feel
调
like we need to
整，希望
pause
能
this
为管理
video.
员们减轻负
Okay.
担。
Do we? Honestly, do we want to? Do we actually want to do like a Discord screen share so we have one guy pause the video, so we can actually talk about stuff as they come up? Because they've now shown us 3 slides with like 50 things that I couldn't even read.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's do it like this then.
Do you want to be in control or should I be the one?
No, you control it.
I should do it? All right.
Yep.
Let's see. I have some experience with that because whenever I watch anime with a friend, I keep pausing the anime to drop anecdotes.
Yeah, okay.
My Musume stream was really bad during that. All right. I guess you need to like pop out and put it on your stream or something. It's a little annoying.
That's gonna be the plan.
先是资源的系列调。
Okay, so I can close
那这次优化迭代。
this. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be a lot to talk about here.
I feel like they're probably gonna touch on each point, so this might not be like super important. So I just want to read everything and see if anything is like stands out to me, and then we'll see if they actually talk about every single point.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. So the first stuff is just adding more resources. That's fine. I don't really care. AIC quota when recruiting. It's all just people asking for more resources. That just makes sense. Simplified process after raising stock distribution. Multi-line engraving kit. Multi-line engraving kit. Engraving is.
It's the equipment thing where you.
Oh, okay, yeah. They didn't have that. They
stuff
had that on dueling only. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. More gear. I do want to. I feel like bottleneck right now is essences and gear, and they don't give you enough of it. So having more of that, being able to build more characters is good. But this is all resource stuff. Doesn't really matter to me. Visual cues and effects. Fair enough. Challenge protocol spaces. Starting every attempt with maximum HP and ultimate energy. That's actually
Ooh.
kind of good. I hope this
Yeah.
is also for the bosses because I hate charging like my ultimate every time I want to
Yeah.
like, try. That's a good thing.
重新审视。
That's
接
definitely
下
good.
来我们会，比如在研发。
All right, this is small stuff.
Mm,
AIC
console.
facility construction outside the core AIC area. What the hell? You just build stuff everywhere?
Okay, I don't really see why you would want to do that, but I guess it makes sense for, okay, let's say Oh no, I don't have my bombs with me, and there's like this big boulder I need to blow up, and I can't. I have to go all the way back to the core AIC area to craft the bombs now, even though I have the facility in my pocket and the power source right here. I just so happen to have the facility and the materials and the battery in my pocket. I could craft it right here if only I could place it down.
Oh, I think I think that only accounts to crafting the facilities. So if it's like the construct, not placing it down, but just being able to craft it. So like you could make pylons if you have the materials in your bag or whatever. Or maybe
Yeah,
it
maybe.
drags it directly from the storage, which I don't think they do, but that could be kind of, because sometimes I run out of I'm running out of like pylons when I'm like trying to colonize the place or something, and then I need to go back. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what that. It's just usability stuff.
Yeah.
Facility placement tips, just optimizing. That's fair. I think so far I had no problems with the UI. Actually, works really well. I had no issues with it whatsoever. But I guess sometimes
There's
people
some
play it on
little
like
things,
weird,
yeah.
like if you play it on a phone, that's gonna probably be difficult. But
Mm.
view the minimap and open the world map while suspended on a zip line.
Dude, that is like
Finally.
one of the things that has been pissing me off so much.
Yeah, not being able to check the map while you're on the zip line is actually
Yeah.
that's really good. Either escape or caps lock to exit. Oh, that's so good. I keep pressing escape when I want to get out of the the top view. That's actually really good. Yeah, okay. They know what they're doing. Okay, that's good. Maximum zoom. That's really good too. Finally get to take a screenshot of your entire facility. Controller, buffer distance, power transmission. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's really a lot of like tiny fringe cases that people have figured
Yeah.
out, and that they're like spending time optimizing now, which is kind of funny. I'm not sure if that's a good idea to put so much effort into things that 99% of players are not going to run into, but hey, I mean.
I guess this is mostly just they're going. The way optimization works, I feel, is and I had this because I went through the game development process myself, right? I made like an RPG Maker game, and I had like a guy test it, and then he said, "Oh yeah, this and this happened," and I'm sitting there. Okay, this doesn't matter to me, or like I don't think this is like something that came out in my playthrough, but it makes sense for it to be different. So I change it because you only got the idea because someone else encountered it, and then you feel like, oh, this makes sense for this is how I would do it, but it didn't cross my mind. So I feel like at the beginning, what they're doing is, oh yeah, this didn't come up in testing. Makes sense. Let's do it that way because that makes the most sense. So it's more of like they get an inspiration. They're not trying to fix stuff that because someone was complaining. I think that's kind of these are like kind of micro optimizations like that, where it's like, okay, I made like an oasis, and you can like drink out of the oasis to like fill up on health, but nobody actually tried that, and I realized, yeah, that doesn't really make that much sense. So I add a little sparkle so people would know. It's like do you want that? It's basically yellow paint, but at the same time, if nobody's drinking from the fountain, or like from the oasis, might as well just add it. So my
Yeah.
feature gets used, but it depends. I think this is all just very standard stuff. Optimize display of manual completion status for simulations. Added engraved medals related to manual completion of simulations. Okay, sure, whatever. Quick stash logic for filled bottles. Sure.
Oh, hello, Midmash Gaming over on YouTube. How are we doing? We're doing fine. We're just watching Arknight's Endfield stuff. We're excited for Tung Supremacy. You just wait, it's gonna come. And more furry characters. That's why I have these furry characters from Arknights on my screen right now. I'm manifesting Big Horseman, and I'm manifesting beautiful Tiger Woman.
Yeah. I mean, we get close. Isn't Tung also... Doesn't she have a tail or something? I don't remember.
She does, yeah, but like, okay, so in original Arknights, the full furry characters are like pretty rare, and 99% of them are males because animal male and female differences, blah blah blah. It's mostly the males that are full furry. And waifu is like the only exception that I know of who is like a female and a full-on furry character. There's probably more,
Yes.
but she's like the only one that comes to mind. And it would
That's
be
true.
it would be just so awesome if we could just, have another character like her.
Big fan first. I think the direction of that pun is actually really good. I love the old Chinese man that isn't really able to pronounce English that well. It kind of gives you a feeling of like an old martial arts movie that's
Mm.
like poorly dubbed. Even though
Yeah.
I've never watched old martial arts movies that are dubbed in English, but it gives me that feeling. So it's so good. I love that. I hope they do more of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to see like proper furry characters. I guess if we get I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not there's another China place. I'm guessing like the Hongshan Institute
Mm.
of whatever.
Yeah.
That's like on Talos. I'm guessing there we might encounter some more of these characters, or maybe
Yeah, I feel like
maybe the
it's gonna come up again because like Wuling is just like Wuling is like a really big place from like our perspective, but uh as I interpret it, with all the things and the information we've gotten so far, like this other China place is like even more massive. Wuling is just like a little branch place compared to that.
yeah. It's basically just a Harvard built on top of like a like a survey site,
Yeah, basically.
basically. So
Mm.
that's kind of it's kind of just a tiny outpost. I hope they do like the full scale big cities. We have the big three factions. The uh I guess the Roosters don't really have a main capital. They're just kind of like a
I
worker
think they
union.
do. I looked up the places on the Arknights Enfield wiki, and one of them was like described as the effective capital. It's like not really in like name, but the effective capital of the
I
Workers
see. Yeah.
Association.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe if you give me just a moment, I can maybe look that up.
Sure. I'll
If
I'll
you
go
want.
through the couple things that we have on screen. There doesn't seem to be anything interesting.
Hmm.
Just more menuing, optimizing the map, um, farming plot cultivation. Sure. Farming is like an afterthought. I feel like they needed to be they need to do something for it. The food doesn't really make sense. It's kind of fun. I like food. I love looking at food icons. They
Hmm.
just don't really make sense as of now. So what I want to be having is for food making sense. And one way I could imagine is just making sanity food. Have
Mm.
it on a long timer or something that actually is like really hard to do, or like not hard, but kind of tedious to do.
Mm.
But then you get like a little bit of like upgrade use out of it because if they're already locking food for the harder try hard content, um, there isn't really a point in making all the cool healing items. There's like,
Yeah.
and that's always that I hate because I like cooking, but it's just if there's no use for like 99% of your dishes and you just use the one that gives you 30% damage up, then I feel like that's kind of a squandered opportunity. So
Yeah.
I'd love for cooking to be more interesting because it's I mean, I could imagine something like, oh, we're going to the Northern Front. Food is scarce. We're like in like a hellscape. So maybe some of the stuff to like exchange stock builds for like making a bunch of food, and you get
Mm.
like a big chunk of like stock builds for each day for supplying the locals with food because we can't just keep giving them batteries to eat. that's
Mhm.
not, that's not how it works, but
Yeah,
that's how it
true.
works right now. But they just get the meds, drugs and powers, basically all we're giving them these
Yeah.
days, and
Yeah.
it
Or,
makes
or
sense for like
they could like integrate it with culture and stuff. There could be a whole like
right.
little quest chain or facility where you have to deliver gourmet food items or whatever, to like of the highest quality to like get rewards
Yeah.
and stuff. That would be cool. I would like that.
That's true. Yeah. Just having more opportunities to not just use, because the use effects in the context of the gameplay, it's not gonna see much use. You either bring a healer or you just never get hit. Or the effects are just kind of lame.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, it's a little bit of damage up. So it's not gonna be they're not gonna be so I think it makes more sense building that into the world, where like actually maintain it, like, because that's one of the cool things of Enfield, right? We're supplying technology, like production for like materials, but we're also helping, we're helping the Shimbo Stockade also, like, survive. And that's not just through medical stuff, because we're not just Rhode Islands, we're also like, we can industrialize farming, so you
Yeah.
can also have like a bunch of rice basically. And yeah, that's kind of what I would like, but we'll have to see. I might add that to the surveys. Make farming meaningful by building it into the world, because I feel like it's gonna be an afterthought for a long time before they figure out, because it really feels like they didn't know what to do with it. It's just
Maybe.
in there because it was like a bucket list point. So
I mean, maybe Shu is gonna show up. The Sui proxy that is who
Yeah.
literally is all about um, cultivation and farming and stuff. And there were like multiple Arknights events, OG Arknights events that were like about farming rice and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like a really important aspect, obviously, and it feels
Welcome
like
to the rice fields.
yeah, welcome to the rice field. I feel like she's gonna be involved in this somehow, and farming is like gonna become some game mechanic that we're gonna have to go through.
It's gonna be. I hope that the areas they release are actually themed around stuff like they already made like a problem, an ecological problem, which is like, oh, we have to figure out how to make Shironite because it's a material that is very hard to make. And then once they figure out how to make it, and we now need a way to industrialize it, and that's where Enfield comes in. And then once we get to the desert, it's like, okay, we have nothing. Enfield, please send us anything, water or like, and then you have like a big ass pond somewhere that creates like water, but so far away, so you have to like put pipelines through the entire desert or whatever.
I'm getting flashbacks to reclamation algorithm. No, not the tree cutting. No, please.
I probably had like, it kind of depends whether or not you have the right characters, and for that sort of mode. I actually really liked it the first time, but I didn't feel like I wanted to go back to it because it's actually kind of tedious to do. But it's really fun. It's really fun for the first time you get like a double raid where there's like 200 enemies on your screen, and you have like just characters or like operators that do unlimited target stuff.
Yeah.
And I had Dorothy, and Dorothy is really good for that mode because the mines just stack everyone up and they just explode. It's really, really good.
Yeah. I was playing Reclamation Algorithm 1 a lot when it was like still more like a roguelike.
The new one, the first time. That's the one I played.
Yeah. The new one is a lot less like a roguelike because you can always go back several days and like redo whatever you did. Okay. So it's more like a permanent story mode kind of deal now.
I see. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed like building my base. So the thing about the roguelike aspect was, okay, everything would like reset when you did a new run, except your base. Your base would carry over from your previous run to the new run. So there was like a sense of progress. Like even if you had a really bad run and you managed to like fail on day 5 or whatever because you got unlucky and you didn't get the notes that you needed, at least you still made some progress in your base. And I really enjoyed like building this like huge maze like back then in Warcraft, with like making these labyrinths out of walls that the enemies had to go through, and then I could place down my operators and defend better. That was really fun. I like that.
Actual tower defense gameplay.
Yeah, actual tower defense gameplay.
Yeah, it's really,
actual mazing. Like for the first time while playing Arknights, I actually had to build a maze like in a real tower defense game.
It's really that. I mean, it was fun, and like some of the maps were also really funny because you had like a raid and the raid could be on any tile basically.
Yeah.
And then there was like a tiny ass map where like 100 enemies come popping out, and then
Yeah, dude.
you
Some
just
of these were just straight up unwinnable. Honestly.
yeah. You just try to kill some. I thankfully had like Texas, which also has like unlimited targets. That a couple operators are just busted for that mode. If you
True.
don't have like something that actually does damage to everyone on the tile, and has like a cap, then it's always kind of bad. But yeah, it's fun stuff. Yeah, I hope there's more alternate game modes like that. They should experiment more. I know it's hard doing it in like an action game sequence because there's only so much you could do, but you can do a lot of stuff. I think apparently there was a roguelike game mode in the beta that was removed. I didn't look at it. I just hope that that thing comes back because
Would be
people
funny.
spoke fondly of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I also heard some people say? Some people actually like looked at the little tower defense mini games in Endfield where, you know, you had
Yeah.
to place down towers to defend your base, and you know, people like us, we would look at that and be like, whoa, Arknight's tower defense, oh my god, that's crazy. And some
Yeah,
people
I'm
actually
aware of
really
that.
like that. Some people actually really like that, and we're like, oh man, I wish there was more of this.
I think the problem is since it's built around this this action gameplay, it's hard to make it very precise.
Yeah.
And Arknights, it's like tower defense and stuff like that is really about precision, where like every enemy comes down to like the frame, and you can like kind of make these frame decisions and stuff like that. And in this game, it's in this mode, I'm guessing that the enemies can sometimes like bug around and stuff like that. So it's like it's not as precise, which makes it hard to make it super difficult because it feels punishing sometimes. Also, like the entire mode is really slow. If you want to like just switch one tower, you can't really like stopping, and then you have to go and you have to place it. You don't get the top down mode for that, so it's kind of like hard. You can't really tell where the enemies are coming from and stuff like that. It's I would like to more isolated, so it's like simulation type thing where you're not in the outpost, but just rather in like an actual like top down thing where
Yeah.
you just place the towers and stuff.
If it was more polished, it would be a lot more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine that being maybe that could be introduced like in an event.
Yeah.
And then they'll just try it out or something. I could imagine that happening.
Honestly, they could really just like straight up just copy element TD and put it in Arknight's Endfield and make it make it a PvP event kind of thing.
We love tower defense.
Yeah.
Also, you're missing out on the Hoshi skin. I saw that, and she switched her shield for a katana. That's aura loss.
No, that's Hoshiguma Alta. And I mean she still has her shield is just like a floating thingy behind her now. But like there's an Hoshiguma skin that you can get for original Hoshiguma from Reclamation Algorithm.
Right.
And honestly, I don't even own original Hoshigumas, so I don't care.
Is that it's the summer skin where she's like on a surfboard or like in front of a surfboard?
I'm not sure. I would have to look that up.
Is that the one? Surfboard. I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
That's 2 years ago. Datamine summer skin as reward from RA2. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's where she doesn't wear a lot. Yeah. It's kind of a cool skin. I can kind of get behind that. Giving alternate weapons is pretty fun. They had that stuff for Genshin where it's like Varka, the guy who came out like recently, just a guy with 2 great swords, and on his trailer he picks up
yeah, I saw that actually. I don't ask me how that ended up on my algorithm, but
yeah.
I saw that. Yeah,
and the fun thing is there is a fish as a weapon, and it's like a free-to-play weapon, and I feel like they were kind of giving a nod to the free-to-play players who pull that guy and have to put the fish on him because they don't have a better weapon. And I am actually one of these guys. I would have to put the fish on him, but I'm currently exploring through all of Genshin to get enough gems to get his weapon.
Damn.
Even though he's bricked already because he's not having as much DPS as everyone else. But it's okay. He's cool.
Okay.
I like him.
Really quickly, we were talking about the United Workers Syndicate. And Capital City. So apparently there is like a single file that you can unlock if you befriend Pogranichik. where the city is
Popular
mentioned.
Michnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's how you. I just call him PogChamp in my head, but no.
Yeah.
So the city is apparently called Matgorodov, and he says the following: Matgorodov. I've seen this name countless times in UWST art films before my actual visit. She is the heart of the United Workers Syndicate of Talos 2, replete with massive command towers that scrape the skies in integrated city plate construction yards. She resembled the nomadic cities that I've seen in my memories, solid and absolutely
okay,
gargantuan. So that sounds like a fun place that we might visit one day. And this is actually like really fascinating. They are basically doing world building for Talos 2 that you only get to see and like read about through the operator files. A lot of the informations, like La Fontama. The only reason why I know about La Fontama is because Ardelia talked about it one time in her operator files, and ever since then I've been like, whoa, I wonder what that place is gonna be like. It's supposed to be like the equivalent of siesta, and siesta on Terra is the equivalent of like Hawaii, where it's like a lot of volcanoes, tropical beach place, and that sounds really cool. I want to go there and check it out and explore it. And then there's also Alloy Carrot, Alloy Carrot being the new version of Rimbilliton, and Rimbilliton being the Australia of Arknights. Then they're describing it basically as a place, as a mining place with all these bunny people, building their little burrows and mining and being like, oh, look at us, we're like just like back in the days in Rimbilliton, our ancestors, we're mining, look at us. And that makes me want to go there and check it out. And so like there's like already we've only been to like 2 places on Talos 2, and already I have this like intricate picture in my mind about how Talos 2 might be constructed and all these different places that we only hear about in hearsay and stuff, which is kind of crazy.
I'm excited for like the places that we get to explore, and I hope they try to be more versatile with it. They should do, as we said, like the Matgorodov, since it's supposed to be a little bit like one of these nomadic cities. It would be actually really fun if it moved around.
That
it
would
would
be
be
crazy.
kind of impossible because then it wouldn't be impossible. It just means you can't place zip lines on it or something. Like if there was like a below, like you could be on the ground, and then there was just a giant floating city that would like move the entire time.
But get this. There's also a city called Seska, which is the city of witchcraft, which is the Sarkas place, and it's described as a floating city, which is like a circus where all the witchcraft people and the Sarkas hang out and have like a crazy good time. And it's like floating because it's built on the skeleton of a ferment being basically these like ancient god beasts from Terra.
Right.
And
that sounds pretty cool.
That sounds like badass.
They got like a lot of room for like making really cool places, and I hope they actually go really hard on like the world building and build like really unique places with a lot of verticality. It's a little bit sad that we can't climb, which means they have to make it accessible. But I just hope that they still make it really hard for making vertical places, because we do have the zip lines. So it would be fun if a terrain was so hard to like navigate that even just for exploring you have to kind of put down zip lines. Otherwise it would be way too hard to just move everywhere. Especially when it comes to like mountain regions and stuff like that. I'd hate if the maps overall end up being way too flat, because they are afraid that people will get like lost exploring stuff. But we'll have to see. I think honestly, personally, people hate. There's people complaining about like zip lines and stuff. I like terrain being part of the challenge. I like it being annoying to navigate, because that's where we come in. We're supposed to make everything easy. So it's like you're supposed to use your factory stuff in order to move around better. So maybe there would be options for us to like construct vehicles in the desert or something that allows us to run on like fuel that we have to manufacture in a factory, so we can actually like move from point A to point B without like like running everywhere, and maybe like TP points in the desert are like non-functional because there's like an ether storm that prevents like the TP protocol from working. So you have to use like vehicles, and you can only use vehicles if you make enough, like if you drill enough oil, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna industrialize and then just make some funny originium oil that like it would be so good. Like that's like the lore or like the flavor that I want from the factory games.
Yeah.
And I hope that's actually gonna happen in some shape or form.
Yeah. I mean, if we go into a mountainous area, they could always just give us a grappling hook at the start and then be like, okay, now you industrialize it. You use the grappling hook, you explore the place with the grappling hook, and now you can place down your zip lines and you don't have to deal with that anymore. That's like classic exploration type gameplay.
Yeah.
And honestly, every game is better with a grappling hook. Let's be real.
True. All right, let's continue and see if they actually got something fun for us. We haven't even gotten to the juicy stuff.
We're like
I'm assuming that
2 minutes
he's just gonna recap all the points real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, that gives us just a free 10 pull, I think, if we have done everything already. Unless this is only for new people.
Oh. Wait, we're just getting free pools just like that?
Oh, yes. Okay, more pulls for doing stuff. Okay, makes sense. I do want more of the 5-star potentials, so this is very good.
Okay.
那这里啊，也和大家做个小小的提醒，0号委托版本末的清波江起签到活动即将开始，管理员们也请记得参与签到，获取基础巡访凭证。
Yeah, make sure to log in every day. Our metrics depend on it. Our shareholders. Are they a public company? I don't think so. Right?
Huh? Sorry, I didn't. I was. What did you ask?
Is there like are they like a public company? Do they have like shareholders they answer to?
I'm not sure.
Is thereby let's see. Video game company. Are they owned by someone?
Maybe look up.
They're private. They're a private company. So
maybe look up Griffline, since that's the publisher company now.
Griffline.
Okay, kind of hard to find information about Griffline. But no, I guess then if Hypergriff is not publicly traded, then I'm gonna assume that Griffline isn't publicly traded either.
Yeah, I don't think so. So they have no shareholders to answer to, which is nice. Which means no metrics. They don't need to reach like the quarterly quota of like concurrent players, but they will force you to log in anyways. But
yeah. There was a whole thing with like the CEO of the Limbus company doing a live stream and having a little bit of a he crashed out. That's a whole nother can of worms, which is also funny and which is kind of related to what you just said. But okay, let's not get too deep into this.
We're getting too many tangents.
Yeah, we're gonna be here until 6 p.m. at this rate.
That's fine.
同时，提升潜能用的信物呢，也将会被自动保留。管理员们可以简单快速的使用配额去兑换各种物资和奖励了。
More.
另外，当4号谷地矿脉园区的物资调度系统升至4级，
Okay, wait.
会新增一个
multi-line engraving kit.
What's that do?
管理员使用后
Oh.
包含3条自动
Oh, you can't just guarantee it.
直接获取
What?
完美匹配。
Oh, you can't just
What?
choose the thing.
Oh,
That's
wait, that you can get a perfect essence? How many of these can we get? Dude.
Probably just, like,
bruh, okay, this
every
is actually this is actually so messed up because like I've spent a lot of time farming perfect essences and you're telling me it was all for no. Okay, whatever. Who cares?
Honestly, as long as they don't give you a better way of getting of leveling up the essences, this doesn't even matter that much because I have perfect essences for all my weapons, but I can't level any of them because I got them too early. So now there would be what I would want is like a way to farm the coolant gel. So if there was a way to like gain this gel more efficiently, so you can just level your essences, because this doesn't matter if you already have all the perfected
True.
essences. You still need to grind through the other mode to get enough essences to level them up. But
True,
I
true.
guess we'll see.
That's gonna come up right here. Like, watch them be like, oh yeah, also you can grind coolant gel now.
在交互与
Yeah.
更新方面，我们以各位管理员的反馈为基础，围绕引导、界面、手柄体验、资源收取等
Okay,
方
so
面
you
进
just
行了一系列优化。
we can just let
我们
this
希
run
望
because I'm
之后
guessing
的
this
管
is
理员接
just
取任
a
务、推进流程时，
Mm.
将会迎来更好的体验。首先是活动任务的引导，我们为部分会解锁探索区域的任务呢，添加了新区域
Okay.
的任务
new area.
进行提示，便于
Makes
管理员
sense.
们
Yeah,
清晰顺
that's
畅地
nice.
接取推进，以解锁新区域。帮助管理员们接取各类任务的行动手册也将同步优化。例如，管理员遇到要去履历墙的位置，
Honestly, for a gacha game, I feel
快
like
速定位。
the visibility and UI is very good. of
Yeah.
Endfield. Sometimes you, I played PGR the other like a year ago or something. Those menus overwhelmed me way too much. It was impossible to find anything. Like some gacha games are really bad with like their menuing.
Mm.
Enfield does a really good job.
Yeah,
I
they.
feel like it's always easy to like find exactly what you're looking for.
It straight up feels like they're like obsessed with UX, and I've heard like the guy Lowlight, the guy who's talking right there. He's like, his job is basically UI design. So
Yeah, it shows the energy, like the amount of like effort put into this UI and Arknight's UI. Oh, that's so good. I
Yeah.
love it so much. As someone who used to do this kind of stuff, I
mm,
wanna every time I open up Enfield, every time I open up Arknights, I wanna open up Photoshop and just make a couple of boxes and like try to like own in on this style. I've sort of I've made the blueprint for like the Enfield opening screen,
mm,
and I replicated that in Marauder with my model.
Yeah.
So I actually have a version that makes this kind of for like my Enfield streams. I want to have this thing going. And okay, so this is kind of cool. I like this, being able to see what the max potential thing for your weapons look like, because it's kind of hard to tell. Right now, there isn't really a way to show it because
Yeah,
the preview
you had to, like-
only shows either nothing or everything,
Yeah.
and not like the in between ranks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good.
也可以直接看到珍贵采集点
Okay.
矿点的剩余材料数量。
Showing how
为
Okay.
插矿机或未正常开
unrigged mining spots. I had one of those until like
查看，以及
like 2 weeks ago or something.
地酱号探索结束或者是
uh,
倒卖物资后啊，也可以直接被传送
Okay.
到原位置。
Just getting
Oh.
teleported back
Okay.
makes sense.
地酱号上了，
Just
方便管理员们的行动。
oh, okay.
我们还优化了管理员们的种植体验。
Oh my god, really?
faster watering.
管理员和
Fair
队友
enough.
的操作所需时间都进行了缩减。
Oh my god.
方便了
Dude, this is actually pissing me off so badly when I'm like trying to plant my plants and harvest my plants, and my NPCs are just standing around half the time. By the time they manage to harvest one field, I manage to harvest 2 fields and water another one. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like, come on, like,
It's like
guys,
enough.
hurry up.
邮箱游戏逻辑进行了优化。当前
Oh my god, no more dots.
因为背包
that's actually funny. For OCD people, there's like a couple of people that hate the red dots and want them gone, and
Yeah.
I clicked every single tutorial in my
Me too,
my-
bro, me too. I was so bored, I clicked on every single thing to get rid of them.
产物呢，也是
It's very funny.
直接
Yeah, that's really
这
good.
里啊，也提前和大家分享几项将在不远的版本中上线的交互与减负优化。那我们将增加回收站的
Quick
移动
claiming for
速度
products,
总
quick
控
Oh,
claiming, auto
God.
replacement, just making Dijang faster. Remote quick claiming for
管理员
recycling
可以选择
stations,
远
sure,
程收取资
fair
源
enough.
大胆
They still haven't found a use for these recycling
在地酱后
materials,
总
so
控
I don't know if we'll ever
管
need
理
them.
员也可以快速安排干员从事生产活动，
Oh,
通过收取线索
base
和
optimization,
这里
yes.
啊，还需要
Yeah.
和各位管理员额外说明，目前啊，我们的地酱号和各个房间暂时不会开放更高等级的升级。
Oh, okay.
所以，对于已经将地酱号和现在的房间升至最高等级的管理员们，那即使啊回收站的远程收取功能还没有时装，那各位
Mm,
管理员啊也不用担心未
OK
来需要升级而去囤积大量航天材料了，不用每天花费额外时间去回收
there's
站
no
收
need
取
to
了
claim
哦
resources from
而我们
recycling
还将
stations.
新增
Okay.
手柄按钮
So they
的
don't have a
功能
plan for
帮助
additional
管理员们
resources.
根
Makes
据
sense.
自己的
It's
习
sort
惯
of
来
a
进行手柄键位的设置。那在战斗方面啊，我们优化了敌人发起攻击后的红光体验
Oh
效果。
bigger
Okay.
shiny red flashes. Okay, that makes
更为
sense.
显眼了，且
I think Levitine has the only problem where where she's actually like too noisy visually, but I think overall it's fine. Oh, it's on Recrisis too. Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's really good.
Nice.
助力管理员们更加轻松地完成挑战。那离开副本时啊，烟队干员都会恢复到原有的状态。
Will be reset to the pre-challenge status. Okay, that doesn't matter. Yeah.
管理员可以放心尽情地战斗了。
Fight battles how they want.
集成工业方面，我们也开展了全方位的优化。
Okay.
And the IC
是一项
upgrades.
非常关键的功能。管理员们现在可以在集成核心区域之外。
Okay, it takes materials from the storage and allows you to construct facilities on the fly. That's really good.
放置设备的描述显示也将更新。那现在啊，放置设备时，如果该设备达到该区域上限而无法放置时呢，也会更加明确地提示给各位管理员是哪种设备达到。
Okay, that's Forge of the Sky. Yeah, it makes sense.
共享设备的展示与管理方式，管理员可以通过 UI 样式直接区分。
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's sometimes
okay,
annoying
yeah.
when so you don't zip line to like a.
Yeah, that literally happened to me yesterday.
现在也可以在地图界面直接删除其他人的共享设备。
Oh.
管理员更加
And you can delete them right away. Okay.
Okay, cool.
看模式啊，我们也做了进一步的调优。PC 端可以通过设置
Yeah, you can press escape. Sure.
使用 ESC 按键或者 Caps Lock 按键。
Caps lock.
这个模式下最大的可见范围也得到了扩展。同时啊，我们也新增了手柄端长按可以开始移动的功能。
By long pressing a
俗
button.
称的拉电线的环节啊，也将得到优化。此前啊，当中继器的电力
Okay, this is interesting.
超过80
How does this actually
会
work?
在超过10米及90米时呢，提示距离过远，强制中断连接。那现在啊，我们将这个缓冲距离增加至20。
Oh, it's the buffer range. Okay, I see.
都可以在
Before the cable snaps, basically.
而且啊
Yeah,
电力
makes
一旦
sense.
开始运输，也不会因为进入剧情对话而被打断了。希望
Oh, that happened to me before.
更好的去电力
That happened to me before. I was so pissed off.
Keeps the cable in his hand while he's talking to
管
someone.
理员们
Yeah.
看正在前进的
Yeah,
方向
that's，
加
makes
强探
sense.
索指引。另外啊，相信管理员们也遇到过一键存放
Quick stashing of filled bottles being counterintuitive.
Ah.
Actually, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
If a bottle is filled with fluid, it will not be quick stash. Okay.
管理员们可以放心的勾选一键存放的各种选项，不用担心。
Oh, I didn't know you could filter the quick stash option. That's interesting.
Me neither.
那模拟空间啊，也新增了手动完成模拟的
Oh.
手绘纸盒
What?
章管理员们可以安需收集展示。
Manual completion for simulations. Oh, okay. You have to do every simulation to get the engraved metal, I guess.
哦
我们有信心通过长线的调优和新内容制作，为大家提供更优质的游戏体验。
Actually, is the video loud enough for you? I kind of turned it down a lot, but
No, it's loud enough for me.
一样，我们开发
I mean, honestly, we're just reading the subtitles anyways, so.
会后续多个新版本的内容的开发。我们将在本次日志的后续环节和大家一起展望之
don't
后
need
的
to
日
hear
子。
him being a rap
那接
god.
下来，先请管理员跟随我们放眼即将到来
Alright,
的新版
now
本吧
comes the fun stuff.
All right. Here we go. Tang Tang. Tang Tang. Tang Tang. Tang Tang.
Why isn't Tung Tung here yet?
There she is.
I'm afraid a dark mass card won't work this time.
The head pats.
Glory to Supreme
Holy
Chief
shit,
Tang
that's hot.
Tang.
Maybe everyone thinks I'm a troll cat being a chief, but I'm not quitting this easily. No matter what the truth may be, I, Dark Mask of Chimbo Stockade and occupant of the third seat, shall stand with my chief.
Whoa.
Oh, they got a lizard guy.
It's actually, I really like that about the administrator taking the whole Dark Mask stuff and Third
Yeah.
Seat guy serious. When nobody else is. Oh! Oh my god.
Oh, we get more metal. That's really good.
Okay. I'm kind of, Oh, dude.
Oh, she's coming already.
Oh,
Okay.
dude. I know someone who's really happy right now.
Rossi.
Oh my god. Oh, dude. Her Italian voice acting.
That looks good though. I like machine gun style. And she's coming as well, okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait, she's using guns? Okay.
Yeah, she was using guns in a cutscene,
Right.
so it was kind of expected. Oh, and her... Oh, she's actually using the Mauser-style guns, dude. I know. Oh, she's cryo? Thinks. I mean, it makes sense.
I guess so.
Oh, dude, she probably has amazing synergy with Last Ride. If she's a cryo vanguard, maybe?
Okay. Rossi and Tank.
Oh, dude, it's exactly the two characters that everybody was hoping for coming first. Amazing.
I'm just liking the music. Honestly,
that's so beautiful. Oh.
got some art.
Oh my god.
That's good stuff.
Oh.
Got
Oh.
the cute ones.
Oh. Oh my god. Brigand's calling. Oh.
Okay.
Lupine Scarlet Sword.
We get more gear. Okay.
Okay.
We do need some stuff though for that. I feel like some characters are missing some good
Yeah. Doesn't.
good gear sets.
Yeah, it feels like there's not a whole lot of options for some.
Blue Monument. Okay.
Grotto Servant. Oh, more riddles.
the crypt.
Yay. Okay.
Okay, that's more of the same stuff. Makes sense.
Yeah. Guide events. Oh,
area.
a new area. Oh wow.
We actually getting
Wow.
the actual place.
Huh.
Makes sense.
Okay. I thought that the place that we went to is the actual place, but I guess not. Wow. Huh. Exploration day.
Oh, the bread guy. Hell yeah, I love the bread guy.
Yeah.
He's my favorite guy. Oh, there is something. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Did they literally gave me what I asked for. Interesting.
Oh my
no.
god. More Super Mario Sunshine gameplay. Okay.
Clean the beasts. That's really funny.
Survival train.
Survival tree. Okay.
Ooh. Oh my
now?
god. Wait. Is this tower defense stuff? No way.
Okay, it's more custom stuff. That's actually kind of cool. It's more like minigame stuff. I like that.
Oh.
They played around with the combat, which is really cool. Okay, so they add more of the same and some new stuff. I can kind of get behind that.
Version content review. Okay. Show me the
管理
stockade.
员们，欢迎来到周末地全新版本《新潮起故渊里》。在此前的主线故事中，管理员们一行出入武林，便遭遇了突如其来的危机，被迫偏离原本的行程，误入了清波寨。那正在此时啊，大家结识了这片水域的豪杰，清波寨的大当家汤汤。那周末地的一行人啊
Glory to 汤汤。
终于是取得了汤汤的信任，在汤汤的帮助下，管理员一行啊也最终是得以继续前行，顺利抵达武陵城。那相信啊，大家都对汤汤印象深刻。无论是他的为人处事，还是与糜竺之间剑拔弩张却又说不清道不明的关系，都让众人感觉到清波寨与武陵城之间一定发生过什么。而平静的水面之下，由于涅菲斯与阿达希尔到来啊，清波寨也已经隐约显露出不安的征兆。在本次故事中，管理员将重新回到清波寨，深入探索这座风景秀丽、看似安宁的村寨。在中转动不息的巨大水车之下，不知道隐藏着怎样的威胁。随着故事推进，管理员也将被这股涌动的余波卷入。你必须找到失踪的汤汤，搞清楚这里究竟发生了什么，
OK
直面潜伏在这片净土背后的危机。那说完了主线的故事啊，相信汤汤与阮姨这对兄妹，也许会让不少管理员想到此前在4号谷地接触过的另一对兄妹。
I think it would also be really cool if Tang Tang's brother would be playable, but I guess that would be kind of overkill, right?
Yeah, he's more head, has more NPC energy.
Yeah.
那他身为狼犬的一员，他总是学着如何像一个大人一般去思考行动。 而这些可能也会让他的经历和很多同龄人截然不同。这一次啊，为了取回一份遗失的样本，洛西和管理员不得不一起来到孩子们的秘密王国。
Oh, I knew
Oh,
it. Dude,
this
I knew
is-
this
this
cave.
is-
Bro, I knew this
Yeah.
cave in particular would be related to Rossi's quest, man. I knew it.
感到无比新鲜。那管理员啊，也看出了他的小心思，让他第一次像一个真正的孩子一样，回归到无忧无虑的童趣之中。那这一段故事啊，是属于这位狼群精锐的难得小气。那也希望管理员在这段小冒险中，也能发现洛西在平时难以展露的另一面。那介绍完这些
Makes sense.
相信
That
大家
kinda
对
makes something laid
汤
back for
和
her.
这两位新朋友的实力非常好奇。接下来，我们让 Ra 来给大家介绍一下他们究竟有哪些绝技。
It's kind of like pretty much what everybody expected, but still, I'm glad to see it.
各位管理员们好，我是明日方舟中国地的关卡设计师
New
Rani，
guy.
很高兴呢能在这里向各位管理员们分享我们近期的一些成果。明日方舟中国地的上线仅仅是一个开始，对我们而言，如何在后续的长线运营中回馈大家沉甸甸的喜爱与期待，才是我们今后最重要的课题。所以，我们仍在全力开发新内容，为了给大家
Yeah,
更
more
多元
content.
更丰富的冒险
More
版
new stuff.
而在
Just
这次的故
just
事中，
experiment
正如
more.
海毛刚才提到的，我们将有机会与清波寨的大当家汤汤并肩作战。作为黑面煞用户的大当家，汤汤是一名兼具群体输出与
Asta.
水陆能力的水
Okay.
龙员
I was expecting her to be a striker, but okay, that's fair.
涡流与水龙卷施加寒冷附着，造成寒冷伤害。
Cryocaster
而作为河流的女儿，她依水而生，逐波而长。所以我们
Cryocaster
在整个演出与效果设计上都融入了大量的水
Man,
相关
now I
的
kind of wish I got Yvonne.
能呼应他的身世背景。而终结技则进一步强化了汤汤在战场中的控场表现，也很符合他一夫当关、万夫莫开的清波寨大当家的身份。
I was kind of hoping she would be more on the physical side, but you know.
普攻叫崩你脑壳，最多可以进行5段连续打击，并对敌人造成寒冷伤害。
It
他的战
looks.
技踏潮卷浪
Oh,
是
she's
整套
actually
机制中
okay.
的核心技能。发动时，汤汤会对敌人造成寒冷伤害，掀起一处水龙卷，同时呢还会消耗场上的涡流，使它们转化为额外的水龙卷。
Additional water
涡流和
spouts.
水龙卷
Okay.
都是汤汤在场上创造出的特殊效果。之后呢，我们也会进行详细的介绍。先说回这个水龙卷啊，它会对范围内的敌人施加寒冷附着，并持续造成寒冷伤害。如果单次战绩形成多个水龙卷，还将额外施加法术脆弱的效果。并且
Maybe I
根据
should
水
pull
龙卷
Yvonne.
形成的数量，转化一定的几率。可以说，水龙卷
Man
就是汤汤在战场
Yvonne
中
kind of already has. There's like a lot of
当
cryo
敌人被
units.
施加
It's
寒冷附
interesting.
着，或是受到法术
Yeah, but we
其实
didn't have a
是
cryocaster
触
yet,
发
so.
汤汤的连续技河水助我，一道强力水流仿佛回应了他的召唤。贯穿
The thing is, casters are supposed to be like the ones who apply the cryo status, and strikers are supposed to be the one that consume the cryo to like do their things.
Yeah.
So you kind of need both. And the
The
Yvonne team was kind of missing someone like her exactly. So it makes sense.
Cryo infliction.
而
Okay.
积累的涡流又可以通过下一次战绩转化为水龙卷，从而获得更强的输出效果。
Okay.
终结技，大战家盯着呢。
哦
发动时，汤汤会揭开眼罩，释放魔眼中的古老图形。在
The
剧情
olden
中
stare.
也会有汤汤摘下眼罩时的表现。我们希望每次技能释放都能
Okay.
够
She
达
takes
成
off her eye
体内
patch.
的
That's
决议
interesting.
这也是诸多考量之后才决定了以魔眼为视觉锚点，以控制为主的一个设计思路。在刚才提到的魔眼中的古老图形释放后，范围内的所有敌人，注意啊，包括领袖敌人，都将被封锁行动。
Okay, so
持
it's
续受
a
到寒
time
冷伤
stop.
害
Interesting.
当图形的演化结束时，会降下巨浪，对范围内的敌人造成大量寒冷伤害。如果主控干员在古老图形内进行下落攻击，
A
将
dive
可以提
attack.
前结束图形演
Okay.
化，并触发巨浪的额外效果。值得一提的是，解锁汤汤的第2天赋呼风唤浪后，这一中系技的表现将得到进一步强化。主控干员在古老图形内进行下落攻击，提前结束演化时，
Am I really gonna have to build a cryo team,
汤汤
man?
会额外生成一处水龙卷，并使场上的每一处涡流都额外形成一处水龙卷，这些水龙卷的伤害也都会获得提升。从实战角度
It's really
看汤汤
convoluted
不
of a
仅能
kit
一人
for
成
some.
队
I'm not sure if that
能够
fits
利
with
用
any
自身
other
的机制
operators.
形成顺畅的技能循环，也非常适合以输出加辅助的定位。
Damage
加
dealer
入
and
寒冷附着
supporter,
与
great
爆发伤
addition,
害为核心
applying
队伍
cryo
中
inflictions and
也就
damage
是管理
units.
员们常说的兵队。那接下来
OK
啊， 我们就通过一段实战来具体看看汤汤的战斗表现吧。
Okay, let's see what the devs cook up with their rotations.
这次我们面对的是4号谷地的最终 BOSS 白垩接位，想必大家都还记得他有一招可以飞至空中落下大量锚点。
Okay, where's
很难
the...
对付
Okay, there we go.
他快要起飞了，就是现在，我们发动汤汤的终结技，直接停住他。我们现在争取到了宝贵的一些输出时间啊，我们立刻开启赛西
And then
对 BOSS 进行一波猛烈的输出。哎，然后刚好 BOSS 此时进入了
No numbers. Very smart.
Yeah.
产生3个水龙卷，返还许多气力的同时，对 BOSS 造成大量的伤害。
Okay, so you can like use the time stop to just stop enemies from like leaving before you.
白垩接位也没能再次飞上天空了。
Damn.
汤汤的战绩还特别适合快速清理杂兵。接下来呢，我们再来看看面对一群原生前兽和一只
Maybe you don't need Yvonne for her team,
我
honestly.
们先利用汤汤战绩大范围的优势
Yep
快速的清理掉这群前兽，让我们有空专心的
Okay
对付这只大怪啊。此时追加一防的战绩给敌人施加冻结，并配合汤汤的闪避后迅速的重击，触发并接上一堆连
Bunch
续
of
技，
combo skills.
跟上了一堆终结技后，哎呦不好呀，这只浮雕后很狡猾呀，跑出了一缝连续技的范围。不过呢没关系，我们开启一缝的终结技后，哎，极限的接上汤汤的
Okay,
终结技，
stun him, and then Yvonne just blasts the
Ooh.
target.
猛烈
That's
的
Damn.
actually kind of cool.
That is cool, yeah.
Just actual crowd control, even for bosses and stuff, which is kind of nice, I suppose. It's a unique thing.
Mhm.
刚才的演示里啊，大家也可以看到，汤汤不仅可以利用涡流形成水龙卷，造成大量伤害以及寒冷附着，还可以通过终结技暂停敌方的行动，创造出宝贵的输出环境。
I don't feel like I
水明输出
really want
控制
her.
艰巨的
So far,
人数
Cryo has not been on my radar, so
Yeah.
谷地啊
what Rossi's
管理员
doing.
们就已经与
Rossi's
狼群
probably
使者
physical.
洛西有过接触，在本次版本中，他也将作为一名禁卫干员正式加入管理员的队伍。
God.
Physical guard. Okay.
So I guess I'll have to roll for Rossi, even though I like Tantan so much.
I'll do minimal pulls for them, probably. So far, I haven't found a character I really like. But she looks like she's fun to play at the very least. Arts infliction on the enemies into vulnerability. That's interesting.
No, she's a guard, not a vanguard. Oh, that looks so
I
cool.
love quick sword moves though.
在
Yeah
处决敌人时，将额外造成大量的物理伤害，并恢复一定记忆力。为了体现洛西迅捷如风的身法，我们特意让他的战技和连续技都能触发2段式的攻击。洛西的战技血红之影，第一段攻击会对敌人造成物理伤害，并施加击飞效果。而当目标敌人身上已经存在
Oh,
破防层数
she might fill the same slot as Chen.
狼之破，
Chen,
对目
yeah.
标造成灼热伤害。
Oh no, she has a separate heat component. I hate that, but
还可以触发洛西的第一天赋灼痕，为目标施加爪印状
claw
态。
mark
爪印状态会持续使目标受到伤
damage
害
over，time
且使其受到
and
的物理
increase
和
physical
灼热
and
伤害提
heat
升。
damage. Okay.
Okay,
若对处于
interesting.
爪印状态的敌人造成暴击后，将
Critical
进而
hit
触发第2天赋废血，
Second health seeping
额
blood
外施加1次伤害，
extra instance
并
of
恢
damage
复一定的生命值。
and recovers
如果
HP.
目标处于燃
Okay
烧状态，这个伤害和治疗效果还将得到进一步提升。
Interesting.
Just some extra stuff.
当敌人同时处于破防与法术附着状态时，洛西的连接技疗影时刻将固定触发2次。第1次攻击会稳定造成物理伤害，
Damage
而第2次攻击则会消耗目标
arts
身上的所有
inflictions
法术附着。根据消耗的
converted
层数造成
into
物理伤害，
vulnerability
并施加
stacks.
击飞效果。
That allows her to like
提
be
升
paired
洛西
with
自身的暴击力
caster
暴击伤害
in
Hmm.
like a physical team. Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe it might make sense to run both Rossi and Tang Tang in the same team.
实现破防层数的快速叠加。
Technically, yeah.
洛西的终结技利爪奇袭，可以在短时间内
Oh, that
给
looks
敌人
cool.
造成多段灼热伤害
Damage.。
随后，
So
洛西
she's-
使用匕首进行2段追击，造成大量的灼热伤害，并施加1层灼热附着。而终
Applying
结
a
技
stack
将
of
在
heat
暴击时
infliction.
产生更高的暴击伤害。
She's
总的来说，洛西
Mixed
不仅能够作为禁卫干员高效施加破防，同时呢，也能稳定的引入法术伤害，这是一项它的重要优势。接下来呢，我们也将通过一段实战视频来看看洛西的战
how
斗
are
表
they
现。
using her?
这
That's
次我们要
interesting.
面对的敌人是年谷行星人啊，我喜欢叫他大斧哥，还是挺抗揍的。 开场，我们先使敌人同时进入破
OK
防和灼热附着状态，这刚好触发了洛希的连歇技。我们一同操作，精准衔接他的第2段连歇技，成功一次性对敌人施加了2次破
Wow,
防。
2
我们
stacks?
迅速衔接洛希的战技，
Battle
给目标
skill,
施加第4阵破
force
防
stack
和爪印状态。在管理员猛击消耗破防层数后，
Crush the
我们接
enemy
上狼卫的终结技，让大斧哥进入燃烧状态。
Apply combustion.
最后，我们使用洛希的终结技，对敌人发起暴风骤雨般的攻击，帅气的解决了敌人的同时，还恢复了一定的生命值。
Okay. It's a
由于
little
洛希的连接技
strange.
对于法术附着的类型没有任何限制啊，其实它还可以与吉尔菲塔等干员形成良好的配合。那接下来呢，我们再来看一场面对以年谷清道夫为首的多敌人的战斗。开场时，我们先使用吉尔菲塔的战技。
Ah, yeah, this team is more on the physical side, look.
随后呢，我们配合狼卫的连歇技，将敌人全都击飞至空中，并使他们破防。紧接着，我们再使用吉尔佩塔和洛希的战技，自然附着加破防的组合，刚好触发洛希的连歇技。我们精准衔接后，
That pun is literally the only 5-star I'm still missing.
的连歇技进行一波猛烈的输出。最后，在
Right,
洛希的战技
okay
引诱敌人失衡后，开启吉尔佩塔的终结技，并使用洛希的终结技进行。
Yeah.
This way you can kind of use any arts,
在
uh,
演示里啊，大家可以
any
看
arts
与合理的
unit
法术效果
and
搭配
also
时
have like
洛
one
希可以
physical
高效地
character that
叠
can
加
make
破防层
use
数
of all the
它不
vulnerability
仅能配
stacking.
合
嗯
整
It's
个物理
interesting.
体系的干员，自身也拥有不俗的输出能力，是物理队的全新多面
All
手。
rounder. That's what it feels like. They want to make in between units that allow people to break up the conventional teams into like
清波在与
more
武林之间
weird
长期技能
combos,
的
which I
磨合
like.
也
I
会
think
嗯
that's
浮出
cool.
水面。在这个过程中，汤汤、弥夫以及阿达希尔各自的立场与选择都会逐步显现。这些看似分散的冲突与选择，会随着故事推进慢慢汇合，最终。
It's okay, my friend got almost all 6 stars first before getting his first up answer. When he got it, we instantly made it level 90. Damn. The only 6 stars I'm missing are actually just the shorted banner ones. Gilberta, Yvonne, and Leviathan. Other than that, I have all the 6 stars. And all the 5 stars except Dapan. Which is impressive because I still have not spent a single red or yellow rock. And I still have almost all the characters. Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty good, yeah.
这里不仅是清波寨的重要场所，也将在玩法
I
上
got
承
extremely
担
lucky,
相
so
当关
I
键的作用。
I
随着探索深入，
I'll have to be quiet.
管理员最终将来到
I
这里
got all the
迎
limited
接本次
characters.
主线中最重要的一
So
场战
I mean, given the fact that they literally give away 2 6-star characters a Dahlia and then 1 you can pick,
调整路线
I think it's actually
探索乐趣
not that rare for someone to just get
在
most of the
清波
6-star
寨管理员
6-star
将面对一
characters.
些此前未曾交手过的对手，无论是以烟花进行猛烈攻击的催
Unless
Oh, that's
you're
actually an enemy.
是擅长利用锁链进行
Unless you got really unlucky and you got 3 copies of the Dahlia or something while pulling, then
Yeah.
Rebozo.
这些敌人的出现，相信都会对管理员的编队选择
I'm back. What did they
产生
introduce?
无限的
Everything.
考验
Everything we wished for and more.
管理员将面对一位神秘
Yeah, yeah.
的领袖敌人
Tang Tang and Rossi
敌人
as new
在空包状态
operators.
下
Uh,
管理员的攻击
oh, we get to
向
fight an
男
actual
对其
bull.
造成
That's
有效
interesting.
伤害
Okay.
此时呢，单纯依靠输出或许很难解决问题，但没关系，
Damn.
我们还可以
Kind of looking like
借助
Monster
武器的
Hunter.
力量管理员们可以在战场中收集并
Okay,
利用
more mechanics. That's really good.
突破敌人的核心机制，扭转战局。至于更具体的应对方式，
All of them limited. Yeah, yeah, we don't get any freebies this time around.
就留给各位管理员们亲自去体验了。
No 5
随着
stars
管理员
either.
们深入
5
探索
stars
清
or
波
4
寨
stars.
武林
Hmm.
工业计划
People were
也将在
speculating that
此
Tang
次
Tang might be a
来扩展
5-star, but
我们
nah.
将新增
I
矿
think
业
she's
类
like
工业设备
too
以及
popular for
配
that.
方进一步丰富工业
Deluge
体
Tower.
系的运转方式。
Hydro mining rig.
首先来
Okay.
说说矿产资源方面，在清波寨
New rocks.
管理员们可以找到新
Good
增
for
的
you more.
赤铜
Okay.
矿。
Oh yeah, finally new rocks. Yippee!
赤铜的
Oh, we
开
need
采
water
将
for
引
that.
入一套全新的设施——水区矿机。顾名思义啊，
Yeah,
这类
sure.
矿机无需介入电力，而是利用水流进行驱动，从而
Flow
实
of
现矿物
water.
的自动化采集，也更加
Interesting.
贴合清波寨以水为核心的环境特点。采集得到的赤铜将成为一条全新生产线的起点。
Oh.
赤铜装备元件，以新装备制造。
What did I make
Alright.
48,000
装备在各项
Shionite components for then?
现有的最高
good
I guess
question.
this is for the new gear.
但全新的装备将为战斗配置提供更多选择空间。同时，
You have to make
工
both,
程
I'm
对水
assuming.
循环的研究
Maybe.
也有了进步。管理员们能在工业计划内解锁废水处理机以
Water
及废液
treatment.
合成相关的配方，这样一来， 就能将产生的污水引入废水处理机，对污水进行无害化处理。
What the hell?
也可以选择将污水与五菱独有的吸氧相关技术结合，产出更高级的五菱电池等
Advanced
电费
ruling
为宝。
batteries.
除此之外
I'm screaming
为了
internally.
让水资源在工业区内的调
More
度
stuff.
更加灵活，
Factory
本次
gaming.
版本也将引入一项新的基础设施——地下暗管。
Conduits.
地下暗管可以用于长距
Liquid
离运输
transport.
液体，
Okay.
同时也避免了地表的建筑阻挡
Oh, we don't have
运
to
输。
put pipelines
管理员
everywhere.
们可以看到，清
Thank
水能
God.
够从较远的水源
So how
区
does it
域
work?
通过
Oh, it's
暗管
underground.
稳定
Okay.
地
It's supposed to be underground.
Ah.
Makes sense.
再通过暗
Why
管
went?
接入
Why aren't the pipes underground in the first
以
place?
上新增内容之外，
Because
管理员还可以在
I
工业
think
计划
pipes
内
look really
继续
cool.
解锁新的科技，
No, they don't.
将天有红炉的最高放置上
I
限
I like them.
增至
I
，They
hate
look like
the
I want to drink out of them.
设备
The
Okay.
fluid looks really
敌人们
tasty.
来自中
water
国
tower.
这
Yay,
是
fire
一个
tower.
在武林地区，大家很喜欢的物资调度
Yes.
Yay.
专属节点环境监测的
Stonks.
最高等级也会增加。各位管理员们可以提升他们的等级，从而解锁更多内
More
容。
content.
同时呢，集成管家也会解锁
Yeah, yeah.
更多的升级选项
Bigger-
集成核心区
bigger
产生更多的
production
原装
area.
与基段
I'm guessing we get a new
三
one.
项常驻玩法
Three
引拓
permanent
丰
game
碑
modes.
秘境行者以及10项巡礼
Yeah.
也将在本次版本中迎来
Sure.
更新。引拓丰碑将新增一项高难度的挑战内容
OK
灼痛疤痕。
Searing
在这一挑
scars.
战中，管理员
Oh
们在
God.
武林区域遇到的敌人将以更强的形态再次登场。完成挑战的同时，管理员还可以参与现实活动“丰碑留名，制衡”，
Monumental
获取
action.
包括千金玉在内
Yeah,
的
yeah.
多种奖励。
Just more of the same.
秘境行者将新增空间组形探险窟，管理员
in
可以
one
在一张
month?
具有武林特色的地图内，运用射
Sure.
流科技与竹林。
These are kind of nothing burgers, I feel like. I didn't really care for them, but they're kind of cool.
They were fun for like the 1 hour where I played them, and then I was done with them.
继续推进探索，解锁更多的奖励。
Sure. Edge
伴随
space is
着本
whatever.
次的版本更新
Yeah, I don't like
系
edge
列
space
现实
MC.
活动也将陆续开启。
Kind of
管理
boring.
员可以前往4号谷地的原始研究员
Oh,
参与
wow.
物资供给开拓节活动，在活动期间会开放每日更新的物资供给任务。管理员可以通过种植、采集与减制的
This
方
is
式
literally what we
生产
asked
不同
for.
类型的食物
Yeah.
完成对应目标，并获得千金玉、
Put the food in the
腾
bag.
讯的痕迹等
Yeah.
奖励。上到物资供给，下至市
Cleanse
容
and
清洁，
rinse.
都少
Clean
不
out
了作
the
为
the
塔
chubby
维尔
lungs.
居民好帮手的管理员的支持。我们也开放了净流敌城活动，供管理员参与。管理员可以利用射流无人机清理城区中的涂鸦，协助维护武林的市容环境。同时，也欢迎大家在活动过程中多尝试使用射流无人机与场景中的各类物品元素进行互动，或许还能发现一些意料之外的妙用哦。最后，在全新的现实活动生存特训中，管理员
This one kinda
体
looks
验一些
interesting.
更加不同寻常的挑战。你可能需要仅凭工业爆炸物捣毁成群结队的猎猎者大军，也可能要在复杂地形中巧妙躲避横冲直撞的腐甲兽和铺天盖地的酸叶原始虫。管理员们，是时候接受极端环境下的考验了。
It's just kind of more creative ways of using the combat system, which I like.
Yeah.
接下来也为管理员们介绍本次版本中同步开放的寻访
Headhunting
活动
balance. Okay.
与相关内容。我们会依次
This is what
开启两
everyone
期特许
cares
选项
about.
河流的女儿与狼破。此前
Oh, so,
已经为
so
大
it
家
doesn't
做过的
always come in
新
free.
战
I thought it was gonna be
游
coming
戏
free
将
because
嗯
of their
对应
system.
寻访中
Yeah.
获得概率提升
But I guess it's just
在
two
武
this
器
time.
方面，虎扑交易所也会陆
Sure.
续上新2把全新6星武器，分别为手冲类武器
Brigand's
骆驼
Call.
以及
It
单
looks
手
so
剑类
cool.
武器狼之飞。
Yeah.
管理员们可以根据自身需求，在新崖森林与飞破森林中进行相应的武器
Still, I really wish there was another way to get Arsenal tickets other than pulling. This is like my biggest gripe of the game.
Yeah.
版本故事新草起孤园离，我们将再次与汤汤相伴，在新的主线
They should
中
allow you to just
继续
pull on
顺
the
畅体验
banner,
未尽的冒险。
like
这
on the
一次
weapon banner.
汤汤将
Yeah,
真正
I mean you can technically by using yellow rocks and turning them into Arsenal tickets, but the conversion rate is like so bad that you're basically burning your money.
红骑士中将和前面提到的一样，管理员将与洛西一起，根据一条线索的指引，踏上一段前往积木王国的奇妙旅程。
Bricky Land. Yo, we playing Minecraft.
我们也将开启2位干员的试用活动，也将分别展开
Sure.
清波镜
Whatever.
友与狼群瑰宝2期7日签到活动。登录完成签到，管理员可以累计获得
Can't you farm
对应
20
各
Arsenal
地
points for
情
each
况
day?
的
It's actually
政
so
府
bad
等
because
等
one pull is like 300 or
同时采
something.
购中心的集成配额交易页
Oh, it's not
也
300.
会
It's
伴
like
随
No,
one
I-
time
one-
pull is 2000.
Yeah,
5张
yeah.
限时
One
特许
temple
活
is
动共计10张
basically the best way to get tempo for Arsenal is to pull a 6-star character.
协议
Yeah.
通行证暗流也将同步开启。正
Dark
如一开始
currents.
提到
Oh,
的，
new
Ooh.
protocol
我们在
pass.
新一期
Finally, I
协
get
议
to
通
pay
行
money.
，Yay
证中
I love that.
在基础
I just bought the
以及
protocol
原始科
pass
技档位
for 10
都增加
bucks.
了
Oh, it feels so
通
good
行证
buying the battle pass when
解
it's
锁对
full
应
and
的
then
Ah,
通
yeah,
行证后
everything.
啊，
True.
管理员还可以通过
When
打
it's
开精选
skins?
箱
Oh yeah,
获得
true. We
六
have
星
not
手冲
gotten any
矿
skins.
箱、六星单手剑、
Eh,
双人
I don't
技
think skins are
该
a
自由
very
箱
big
在
priority.
协
I
议通
think
行
that's
档位
probably
和
something
原
we're
始科
gonna
技
get
档位均可获取一个。
far, far
以
away in the
及通
future.
过解锁本期的协议
Yeah
定制，管理员们可以获取包括头像接
Boundary
龙
lung.
以及名片主题、临水大关在内的多
Just
种
more
奖励。
random stuff.
随着新版本的开启，我们还会同步开放引导活动，全流无声。欢迎管理员们
Guide
前往清波寨区域
It's basically
探索
probably
完
it's
成
the
解锁
last
前
guide
期
event
点
was just oh yeah,
实
enter
现
Wuling
等任务
and like
零
do
分钟
basic
奖励
stuff in Wuling and we give you
Right,
pulls.
yeah.
新一版本中，我们为大家新增和优化了不
Just
少奖励
more
和福
random
利内
stuff
容，
nobody really cares
也
about.
专门整理了一份说
Not
明，
gameplay.
方便
It's
管理员
just
们查
menu
看。
stuff. We've
Yeah.
added a
欢迎
new
管理
menu
员
that
们
if you
在
click on
体
the button,
验
you
新
get
版
the
本内容
thing.
的同时呢，多多提出宝贵的建议。
I'm hearing
我们也
sirens
会
and
继
jet
续
planes.
同步进
Uh-oh.
行
Oh, be safe,
以
please.
上提到的各项活动与福利内容，
Why does that
管理
keep
员们
happening?
后续都可以在研发通讯以及官方自媒体发布的版本活动说明和日历中查看详情。另外还有一则小提示：卷与明星共赴星海特别网页活动即
Web
将在
event?
3月4
Oh,
日
that's
结
the
束
one where they
管理员们也
throw
请
your
及时参加登记，
send your
Ah,
username into
和
space or something.
UID 刻录进
Did you
各
sign
自
up
的
for it?
奇异原石模型里，
I
携
did,
手迈向
but
星海。
it's kind of a fun little side thing.
I did too. And realistically, they could just collect all these names and then, you know, not do what they promised to do, and nobody would be the wiser, right?
正在多线并行，同时
I
开发
guess
未来
so.
的数个版本。部分开发工作呢，也已经接近尾声。在后续几个版本中，我们仍然会积极推出新的玩法、新的地图和新场景。那未来的下一个版本啊，将会是一个规模更大的版本。我们将会
OK
开放2个新地图
Whoa.
与一个新的据点。在其中的一张新地图中啊，管理员将会发现一种新的液体。
Whoa,
管理员
new
可以利用
juice?
集成工业使用这
Jesus,
种液
that's a lot of
The red
juice.
Mountain
新的
Dew.
产物同时，武林的部分据点及设施，例如环境监测站等，也会开放更高等级上线。今后啊，可能还会有新形态的物质出现，希望能给大家的集成工业系统
Sure.
带来新的变化。在未来版本中，武林城将直面迄今为止最大的危机。突然降临在守盾区域的阿达希尔，试图通过摧毁守盾来瘫痪息壤焰。为了扭转困局，装天师也会派遣一位全新的伙伴，听候你。阿达希尔的渴望又将为这场已经起幕的动乱带来怎样的变数呢？一波未平，一波又起，涅菲斯伺机而动，寝食潮也来势汹汹。为此，装天师决定孤注一掷，用手头所有的力量与管理员携手应对这场足以颠覆武林城的危机。究竟我们能否守住武林城？装天师独自背负着怎样的使命？武林城与过去那场灾难究竟真相如何？还请大家在未来敬请期待。此外，还有很多在开发中的内容仍在打磨之中，我们希望能够在未来的版本中为大家一
OK
一展示。周末丽的旅
That's in
程
the
还在继续，
the
也许有
distant
的管理
future.
员从公测开启便与我们同行至今，也许有的管理员还在观望，等待旅途的开启最佳时机。如果说什么时候才是加入周末季的最佳时刻，我会说是现在。我们
Join
打磨
now.
作品的热忱始终不变，
The later you
并
start,
且
the
随时
the
准备
worse it
好
is.
迎接各位管理员与我们一同踏上这场旅程。那么到这里，今天的节目就要接近尾声了，非常感谢各位管理员的收看，再次感谢大
More
家
gacha
收看
games should
我们下次再见。
actually focus on new play experience. Even if it's just if you make your account now, you get 100 extra pulls. It's
Yep.
like the most important part for like switching, like getting new people in, because it always feels so bad starting in late. So all right, that was it. That was it. Okay.
Yep.
I'd say it's about as predictable as a diff update could be. I personally, it's just kind of what we expected.
Yeah. Basically.
I'm glad it's coming. I feel like Jingbo Stockade kind of looked small, so I feel like it's just a small update and you're gonna be done pretty quickly. The new characters are just kind of, we'll have to see. I'm personally not super interested into either of them, but I'll see if I get any of them. Then I guess so. Again, Enfield hasn't shown a character that I'm excited to pull for yet,
Mm.
even from all the ones that seem unlikely. to come. So I'm not super. I'm holding my stack until there's like a character I really like.
That's fair.
But I guess they're all like sort of in a they're kind of fun to like get. I want this is like the first gacha game where I'm actually gonna try to raise pretty much every character. I'll see how many resources they're given. I'm already on my way to making my second the electric team, and then I'll figure out on the physical team, I suppose, and then I'll just round out all the other characters.
Mm.
Of I feel like it's gonna be harder to raise all the characters as it would be in Arknights, especially once I stop doing all the dailies. But so far, I'm holding out.
Yeah. I basically
I
have enough pools saved up to like pull straight up for both of them. Go to like hard PD 120 pools. I basically have 240 pools saved up, yeah. So maybe I will just do that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll see. I think I'm fine with not getting either of them. I'm not super worried. I'm usually doing so far what I've done for every banner, except for the 11 team banner where I pulled a little bit more because I know I was gonna spend some, so I might as well do that.
Mhm.
You get like a free 10 pull after like 30 pulls. I think that's the one I usually go for because you get a like 15 or 20 like free pulls from the events, and then you can buy like a couple more or something. That's usually how I do it. And
Mm.
then I stop if I don't get them. It's usually like it's basically like on the regular Arknights, even if you don't like the banner, it always makes sense to do a 10 pull to get
Yeah,
like a
that's what I do.
and even if you don't get them, you don't because there's no point in spending more. This time they increased that threshold to like 30 for like maximum efficiency. But even that is something you don't really need to do if you don't care for getting like extra potentials on your 5 stars, because I think that's like the most use out of it. But I
Yeah,
still
but
have
you
like
still
a
get the
couple of 5 stars.
tokens, for like more
Right.
pools
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
It's pretty much efficient to do that. So I think that's how I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll do. It feels bad for me to say I'd more likely to spend more pulls on Rossi because it's actually a character I kind of actively not despise, but the archetype is something that I don't really vibe with.
Mhm.
But it seems like at least gameplay wise, she seems to be pretty interesting, and I do like fast sword characters just for like the combat basically. But since the way the combat is built, every character is gonna feel roughly the same. Don't think there's like much ways in how they feel. Um, but we'll see when I get to play them, and I'll make the choice uh, as they come out. But yeah, more. I actually they tease some really good music, so I'm excited for
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
They mix more with the heavy guitar stuff, which I really liked the first time it showed up. So I'm glad they had a couple of extra tracks of that. Really, really, really fun how they kind of do like the half traditional Chinese with like somehow like the sort of metal stuff. Kind of interesting how they mix it up. So I'm excited at least for that, and more funny game modes where you defeat your enemies in a unique way, even if it's just using bombs and stuff. So I'm glad. I hope they keep experimenting with that. Um, because if it's just more, oh, here's an enemy that does a million damage and stuff like that, then I don't really care. I'll
Yeah.
see how good Ember Solo is gonna be for the upcoming challenges. It's actually really fun to just have one character just break them. Apparently, I've seen an Ember Solo video where she does like 250k because she's using Exemplar as the main weapon, and I've never thought about that, but that's actually probably the better weapon for her than the
Sunlit Prince.
uh, Sunnet Prince, because that does extra stagger, but
Uh-huh.
doesn't really matter all that much. I feel like because it's only stagger on the final strike.
Mm.
Uh, but I guess I mean I want to do the exemplar anyways because it's Dapan's best weapon, so uh,
Mm.
might as well make sense. That's kind of cool, and I hope they keep that the weapons are not tailor-made on a specific character where you can't use them on anything else. I know Genshin does this, and Xenophon Zero does this even worse sometimes, where it's just like Hoyo games in general, where like the weapons they literally just work on the mechanic that's for the character, so you can only pull for that. But I do like that it seems maybe Tang Tang's weapon will be good for Yvonne as well because they're both like cryo or whatever. So I
Maybe.
like when the weapon literally says main attribute, attack up, and arts damage by like 40% or something. And then it's like, every character that does arts damage can technically use this weapon, which I like because it saves on like having to build multiple weapons.
Yeah, that's true. Personally, I feel I really like what they were showing at the end. You know, the foreshadowing to like the threat that's like looming in the background. Like I was just yesterday, I was like ziplining through Wuling City, and you know, Wuling is like a really bustling place with a lot of life, and every time you zipline or walk through it, you can feel it. You know, it's a place that is lived in by quote unquote people. You know, and
Right.
I was like ziplining through it, and I was like, man, I wonder what the ziplining through this place would be like if something were to happen. If, you know, the Blight would win or whatever, and Wuling City would get devoured by the Blight, and all the people would be gone, and would be basically a ghost town. I wonder how that would be like, you know? And they're never gonna do that because, you know, it's like it's an area that it's important for gameplay. There's chests there, you know. It's always gonna be a static screenshot in time, basically, and players are
Yeah.
always gonna be able to go back to that place and experience the content that's in that place, you know. So it's pretty predictable already that we're probably gonna be able to save Wuling as a whole, and yep, happy ending.
Yeah.
But still,
It's unfortunate because basically Wuling is just like a giant dam, right? So it would be kind of funny if the dam breaks and everything's just flooded, and then you just have like a ruin, basically ruins, and everything's like filled with like blight water or whatever. But that's like, I like permanent area changes, but obviously due to the point that there is content in the current version, which that means they would at least have a button in the menu that tells you to like go back in time to explore the area, which isn't bad. I think that's acceptable as like sort of immersion break if you want to like destroy the world, but that would be pretty fun. And single player games can do this way better because they're like, oh, this is the point of no return. Make sure to like have you gotten everything, and then they move on to the next place,
yeah,
and then there's basically missable content because the whole place is getting blown up, and that's kind of fun. I think
yeah,
I like the idea of like irreversibly destroying the place that you're like have become intimately familiar with in order to like progress the story and make the player feel like, oh, this is all the stuff where I collected things and did the quests, and now it's all gone.
yeah. But we kind of saw how badly that can backfire with World of Warcraft Cataclysm, right? Like, just entire areas that people were able to explore for areas just being permanently gone from retail World of Warcraft, and the only way to experience them again is to, you know, play a classic version of the game. It's
Right.
kind of a shame, but
I'm personally, and as much as people dislike Cataclysm, I really liked it. Like I didn't like Cataclysm for different reasons. It's mostly just that I just got bored of the game because at that point I had played World of Warcraft like from classic all the way to Cataclysm, which is 10, no, it's not 10 years. It's like 6 years, I think, 2004 until 2010 or something. And I didn't have the people to play with anymore. I did the Firelands raids or whatever. But I thought like flying over uh, like the world and seeing all the destruction Deathwing has caused, I really liked it. I thought it was so cool to see like these places that you gotten used to, like utterly destroyed. I thought every single time I saw like a chasm where there's just stuff blown up. That's so cool. I like that, and I was so in love with that whole thing. So I didn't really share the complaints with a lot of other people, and like them revamping like the experience because it needed like an upgrade at that point also makes sense. You can like criticize that sometimes it didn't really work that well, or like some beloved places just got irreversibly changed and stuff like that. I can imagine that, but I'm not attached to that sort of thing. I like new thing more than the preserving old thing. So they had like an idea, and I think it was actually pretty well executed. So I didn't mind it, but I can see people just being nostalgic for the thing that's now gone forever. But I'd love them to make something like that, or like see that in other games happen.
Yeah, it's just kind of a problem. Like at the time when it was like new, it was pretty cool. I'll admit that, but it does create kind of a problem with future proofing. Like, let's take my favorite zone in the entire game as an example, Malgor. Like, most people who played World of Warcraft probably leveled through Malgor at least once in Classic or in the new version. Basically, what happens, Malgor Torrent starting area, you level through it, blah blah blah, you do a bunch of different tests, and then Cataclysm rolls around, the area gets like destroyed a little bit, the starting zone gets attacked by these Quillbore guys that you easily dispatched in the previous version of the game. And now, like even 20 years later, after Cataclysm happened, after, the whole, oh hey, Malgor got a little bit destroyed, when you go back there right now, in like the retail version of the game, it's still going to be exactly the same way as it was 20 years ago when Cataclysm got released. There's still like these
Right.
level 1 Quillbore guys fighting against Tauren NPCs. Even though the immediate danger of the Cataclysm has long passed in terms of lore and story progression, right? It is kind
Agreed.
of it's kind of like annoying. It's kind of immersion breaking that um, the it's basically a byproduct of the Cataclysm.
Yeah, the problem is that the Cataclysm is a localized event in time, but the the areas got frozen in that time period.
Yeah.
Like they never moved on from that. There's still like, if you go to that area that was destroyed by Deathwing, it's like, okay, Deathwing has just destroyed this entire area, and the new players like, Deathwing, that wasn't that guy like relevant like 10 years ago or something?
Yeah.
Why didn't they repair all the areas?
Yeah,
But
right,
then you'd
right.
have to update all the areas again, so it's like kind of, so the classic areas were kind of like a baseline where it's just like, this is nothing serious happened here, it's just a localized sort of threat, and it's sort of it's colorless. And then with Cataclysm, there was like this one event, and now this affected all of Classic, and it just stayed like that. It stayed like
Yeah.
that for the entire time. But World of Warcraft has this problem in so many areas where like so many of these places are stuck in like different time zones.
Mm.
Like if you start as a new player and you accidentally choose like the Burning Crusade expansion, it's like that like happened so long ago. There's like characters and stuff that appeared like 3 times. Like now with Midnight, Illidan is coming again. Like
Mm.
if you as a new player, you start with the Burning Crusade and you see Illidan, he's kind of the villain. And then you go to Legion where he's your ally. And then you go to Midnight and he's something. It's like kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But again, the new player experience in World of Warcraft is absolutely atrocious. But I also know that this is like almost in a problem that can't be solved really.
Yeah.
That's why you have Chromie, and you have to like, the immersion is just broken as a
Yeah.
new player. It's just, you had to be there basically, which is unfortunate. But I would not be, I don't want to be the guy in charge for like managing continuity in World of Warcraft, because it's like at
It
that
must
point
be a
you just,
nightmare. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I think
Not to
I've
mention
yeah.
the technical limitation, or like the technical challenge of like bringing all that together is,
Oh, yeah. True. It's like it happens so often that they change a little tiny thing about something in retail, and suddenly everything about all the old areas breaks. Like for the
yeah.
longest time, there was a freaking loot bug where if you would hang out in the same area for like half an hour and kill the same mobs over and over in like an old zone, suddenly the mobs would just not drop their loot table anymore. They would just drop almost nothing, and you was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
no, now what? I kind of like I wanted to go into this old area. I wanted to farm this old material for money or whatever, and now I
Yeah.
can't farm it anymore because something is broken about the game. Great, cool.
Yeah. It's I mean, we know that like now we know that internally Blizzard is like it's something. It's kind of a wreck.
Ugh.
So I guess working for Blizzard in the first place is kind of back then it was probably a little bit. I mean, apparently Blizzard has always been like an evil corporation internally, but at least at the beginning you kind of had like a lot of people, and there was some kind of like structure to it. And as like new expansion, they have the unfortunate task of keeping this game alive until the end of time,
No.
and never really jumped off to make like a new title or whatever. So that's kind of unfortunate. But since marketing and like big business decisions became more important, the more uh, the more important it was for them to keep the name alive, because there's nothing more valuable than a brand name that is like well known.
Mhm.
You see it how often like a name gets slapped onto something that doesn't really make any sense. Uh, what was the most recent thing where I can't recall it off the top of my head. I think there was something like a was it with Prince of Persia where they made like a new game and just slapped the name on
Oh,
it, but
I think
even
they
though it
wanted to
was
make a remake of the first Prince of Persia, and a lot of people were looking forward to it, and they just canceled that project altogether.
okay, that was something else. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, um, oh, it was the Metroid thing, I believe, Metroid Prime 4, where
Ah.
like the game was made by the team that made like the modern Halo games.
Hmm.
And it feels as though they didn't really know how to make a Metroid Prime game. So they just kind of made Halo
Okay.
and kind of tried to like emulate some of the things that like Metroid games do, but they did it in a worst way possible. And it ended up just being a linear experience that didn't really have anything Metroid going on, but still they had to make a Metroid game
Mhm.
because the name, and now they completely ruined the franchise basically and threw it into like a state where it can never be recovered, because now that they made a Metroid Prime game that had such low sales, they might not ever revisit it again. And this is like
Hmm.
a problem with a lot of franchises, especially Nintendo is like egregious, where it's like they don't really know how to make their franchises. Like the F-Zero stuff, they just straight up admitted, we don't know what to do with it. And it's like,
Hmm.
you made F-Zero GX, which is one of the coolest games you've ever made. It has so much charm built into it, and I guess it makes sense that they don't know how to make it again, because a lot of these games were like made by some random ass studios that just decided to log in.
Yeah, yeah. The people who worked on these old games, they're long gone. So
Yeah. I don't even know. F-Zero GX was developed by Amusement Vision, a division of Sega.
hmm.
Okay, that's fucked up. So it's like not even Nintendo didn't even make this, and like Amusement Vision, do they even still exist? Sega, it's like wait, it's the Yakuza guys. What the hell?
Oh.
Okay, interesting. At least AM4 was reestablished as Amusement Vision. Super Monkey Ball. Oh yeah, that's right. They made F-Zero GX on the Monkey Ball engine. I remember now. That's really funny. But also like
Interesting.
randomly, and this is kind of the thing, right? You can't really replicate that sort of energy because people back then just did whatever and tried to make it a thing. I don't even know how you make F-Zero a fun thing, because the source material that you have is like the anime, which doesn't even have Captain Falcon in it most of the time.
Hmm.
And then he became like the most beloved character, and they made it like a Saturday morning cartoon, like really very cheesy. But F-Zero GX is some of the most hilarious like cutscenes if you've ever seen them. And it's like, how do you even make a game like that anymore? It's not even possible.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess F-Zero 99 is like the best thing that F-Zero fans are ever gonna get, and now it's over. And honestly, I applaud them for, trying out the concept of F-Zero 99. I think it's like pretty fun and cool in theory.
Yeah, it's decent. They made a 2D game. They made it like the Game Boy Advance games, which
Mhm.
like I guess, but FZUGX had such a unique appeal to it being in 3D and being one of the best looking games on the GameCube,
Yeah.
for being like a racing game. And I guess okay, they can't make that anymore. The technology's lost, and I get it. As it's same with like Star Fox, basically, where Star Fox Assault is one of my favorite games on the GameCube. Again, not developed by Nintendo. It's like some other studio did it, and then they made Star Fox Zero Mission. It's not Zero Mission. Whatever the game for the Wii U or Wii U was, where they completely dropped the ball and whatever. And it's fine. They just forgo. It's
Yeah.
okay.
You know what I find incredible? Like, they made a new Mario Kart game with like open world stuff and everything. When the ultimate answer to a really cool Mario Kart game was right there. Like, remember the versus mode in old Mario Kart games where you like would like
Balloons.
yeah, the balloons, you would like drive around and shoot other people, and it was split screen and really fun. Bro, literally just put Mario Kart into a battle royale format with like that versus mode. Like, drive around
That's really funny.
with balloons and shoot other people. Dude, they would have so much replay value. They're literally sitting on the new Fortnite, and yeah, they're not doing it. Instead, they did open world for some reason. You know what's funny too,
It's
though?
kind of funny.
Yep.
Yep.
The Kirby game, the new Kirby racing game, I forgot what it's called. Air Riders, right? That one actually has kind of like a PvP mode-ish thing, I think, from what I've seen. But I'm not sure. The city thing.
City battle.
Yeah.
That was just a remake, right? So that was like a beloved game on the GameCube, and it's like actually polarizing, and I'm kind of glad that it's polarizing because it was glazed so hard. But when I look at the game, it's like, what's even going on? And it's like a lot of new people actually shared the sentiment where it's like, oh, I've heard Air Riders is the best game of all time, and then they play it, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? It's like absolutely impossible. But I can see that game must have hit really hard back in the day, and I can imagine it's still being fun these days. It's experimental, which I always like, and it seems to have a soft spot in Sakurai's heart, and apparently his wife's too, because she made like a bunch of DUI stuff in it, which is like charming. They come together to make one last game or whatever. I think Sakurai's mostly retired now. But that's cool. So I can kind of see that it's a niche title. For how much it was glazed, it's actually just kind of a niche thing. But I like that, and I think Nintendo definitely plays it way too safe to the point where they actually like prevent their games from being any fun at all, because there's just no experimentation going on.
No, pretty much.
And it loses like the charm of like the old era where they just made some really insane stuff. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. At some point, it becomes too big and it's just inflexible at that point.
Yeah.
Even though Nintendo definitely has, if any company has the loyal fan base that will just eat up anything, it is Nintendo. That they're like in the unique spot. They could make like some insane stuff and probably still pull like decent numbers. But then again, the numbers they pull is there's like a lot of a casual audience to it. That need the sort of dumbed down version of like their games in order to generate the sales. I don't know what's going on internally in at Nintendo and who's like actually what's driving the choices. And there might be small divisions that like want to innovate, but they're just getting like pushed down by like the big corporate overlords that just want the cool thing, the cool swap. It's a little annoying. I can imagine being a developer for Nintendo must actually suck so hard. I think in a bigger company you work in, the more difficult it gets to have like a creative individual vision to be pushed into the finished product. I think that's the biggest problem, because video games always I think when it resonates with the players is when the game developer, the lead developer, the project developer, or whatever, is a little bit insane and has like a unique vision that he wants to push into the product.
Yeah.
And in older games, you can definitely see that happening. and the more corporate it becomes, the more this like vision gets sanded down, and then it just sort of loses appeal to like enthusiast video game players, and just becomes like a broad appeal. Like I'm sure Mario Kart World blown out the sales and has made so much profit, but like people who want like a new refreshing experience, they just don't get that, and that's unfortunate. But the music's good.
Yeah. I think probably the last game that was like allowed to like experiment at all was probably Breath of the Wild. And now
Yes,
it's over.
they did the one thing where they decided, okay, let's take one of our franchises and just make like something entirely different, and it has really like shifted the paradigm for all.
I
of
know,
video gaming.
right? Dude, they made one open world game and got like so massively popular with it that they're like,
Yeah.
okay, all of our games in the future are just gonna be open world slop now. Pokemon, open world slop.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, open world slop. We're gonna push open world slop into as many games, as many franchises as we possibly can. You know, fuck it. Metroid Prime, open world slop. You know, you want a new F-Zero, open world slop. That's it. That's all you're getting.
Low key, like running around the city of like Mute City, and then just getting like a GTA style F-Zero would be actually really cool without like,
It would
shooting
be.
passengers and running people over. Because I always, and this is the kind of thing. The problem is that open world is perfect to like bring your world to life. How cool would it be to have like an open world Star Fox game where like you are on the Star Fox, and then you get into your R-wing, and then you fly down to Conaria, and then there's like this big city you can run around in, get like missions or whatever, and help like the Conarian army to like defend against Andros's like remaining troops or whatever, and then there's a new threat coming around, and then you fly out in space, and there's like these different characters and stuff like that, but it's never gonna happen because it's just too ambitious of a project for like something. You need to have the vision, and unfortunately, as much open world almost makes the worlds die. I feel like even for Breath of the Wild, I feel like the world has no actual character. Like it doesn't feel like a like Hyrule for me. It just feels like a random area that has a castle in it that doesn't even feel like Hyrule. It feels like a Dark Souls castle, basically. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
even
if you played it. Like it's just an area that feels literally like a Dark Souls area to me. Like it felt like it. There's like archers on the towers, feels like Anolondo basically, and then you just go in, and it only facilitates to be like Ganon's place, and like in Ocarina of Time, you will more limited, but you have this Hyrule Castle, you have like the city in front, and yet all these people living in that, and then you just go up to like through the courtyard into the castle, and there wasn't many places to like, you know, there wasn't many screens. There's just a couple of areas to build this world, but it still feels way more alive than Breath of the Wild does, because Breath of the Wild is sort of an empty area, and there is places. There is Kakariko. I'm not sure if it's called Kakariko. I don't think it's called that, but the village where the humans are, and there's the Goron place, and there's the Zora place, because they always have to have every single race like represented in that. But it just, I think the Zora area is pretty cool, and even the Goron place is pretty cool. I do believe, but they just feel like kind of isolated. I don't know. It just doesn't feel alive, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just I didn't see the vision or whatever, but it feels so curated and distilled to the point that I feel like it lacks character a little bit. That's my biggest gripe with Breath of the Wild. But I think the reason it is that way because they wanted the world to like bow down to the gameplay. They wanted to make it so the gameplay comes alive, and it's gameplay first, and it's fair. I like it. It feels fun to play.
Yeah, I think even Wind Waker was more interesting, honestly. Even though you could like apply this very similar complaints that you just said to Wind Waker as well. At least it felt organic in Wind Waker because you had these islands, and it makes sense for islands to be like kind of isolated and have their own little things and stuff. And
Yeah.
it felt fun to like ride across the ocean and look for little tidbits and things to find, maybe.
It's actually I find open world fascinating because I don't know, or I can't really conceptualize in my brain, if we take a locale in an open world, what does a world like that, or like a place like that, feel alive as compared to just kind of soulless? And for me, it feels like the places in Breath of the Wild don't feel alive, but like I forgot what it's called, the first major, or like the only major village in Wind Waker, the one with the fun song. Why does that place in my mind
Dragon
feel
Roost
alive?
Island. Dragon Roost Island.
Dragon Roost Island.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you go inside, you have like a shop, and there's even like a mail office, like a post office. So it feels like somehow it feels like there's like daily life happening, and I can't. Even like Twilight Princess has the cool starting village where Link grows up in, where you do like a little bit of farming and stuff. Everyone feels like it feels so alive, and it doesn't invoke that same feeling for me in Breath of the Wild. Maybe it's just because you're not doing anything mundane in those villages. Maybe you collect the cuckoos because it's like a mandatory thing. But basically, the only thing I remember from the village is you go there, meet Impa, something happens with the story, and you move on. Like there's not anything happening. I know Breath of the Wild has like traveling merchants, and they're going from like village to village or whatever, or like they're just like roaming around and stuff, and it does feel like there's like something happening, but it doesn't really feel alive. And I feel like this disconnect is kind of what I'm missing. So it's like Majora's Mask, for example. It's a masterpiece. The whole place feels so vibrant and alive because of this time loop. They made it so every single character goes through their motion, and it feels so good because like it feels like a world, living, breathing world. And I don't think that they have what it takes to make something that alive again. At least for me, it feels like that's like a masterclass in making a world and crafting something. It's hard to make that.
I think one big part is when you make an open world, when you make a location. Oh, wait, hold on really quickly.
Sure. Early stream? Yeah, we were watching the Arknights dev stream, Enfield dev stream update stuff. We got all the cool fun stuff here. We get the new characters and stuff like that. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, it was very cool. Okay, so what I wanted to say is, so if you make a location like a village or whatever in an open world game, then more often than not, that location has to be approachable from like multiple angles, right? Like unless it's like a cave or something, or there's like only one city gate leading into it for some reason. But more often than not, it has to be because of the nature of an open world. Because the game designer never knows where you are going to approach from, because the world is open. The place has to be accessible from north, from west, from south, whatever direction the player might come from, right? And maybe I think that's a big part why some of these places might feel a little underwhelming, or I might say, maybe not lifeless, but maybe underwhelming. Because when you think back to Dragon Roost Island, you're thinking, like, what I have in my mind's eye is me driving up on my boat on towards the Dragon Roost Island. I go into that little bay area, and I can see that bay area in my mind's eye. I get off the boat, and there's like these rock formations going up in a slope to the left and to the right, and then you basically climb up this winding mountain, and it's a very curated experience that the developer intended for you to have, to like drive something home about the area. You going up a mountain, which feels a certain way, and it invokes a certain feeling. And when in an open world game, that's probably very hard to implement in the same way. You can't really curate the experience that the player is gonna have in the same way.
That makes sense. You mostly the world, or like the locale, has to function in too many scenarios to make it an experience that is fun and memorable. And I can kind of see that. The advantage of open world is that the player gets to make their own experience, right?
Yeah.
That they get to craft their own experience, but it sometimes is hard for that to occur if the memories aren't memorable enough.
Yeah.
So I think when you make gameplay memories, for example, that one time in Breath of the Wild when you came to the area where you need the frost resistance because it's like a snowy mountain or whatever, and if you go there without like the proper equipment, you just freeze to death. But you can kind of like do stuff by like setting you on fire and things that increase like the temperature. That is like open world like emergent gameplay memories basically. And then you figure out, or maybe you're at the Goron area and you need like fire resistance, but you don't have that, so you carry around like an ice apple or something. I don't actually remember what the exact mechanics of how you can like
I get it.
that.
I get it. I get the point. Yeah.
Yeah, when the gameplay becomes like the experience. And what I'm thinking of is more like Majora's Mask, where everything is happening because of the developers. The developer knows every angle of which the player is approaching any given scene, because they made a timeline for 3 days, and at every single day they know exactly where every character is and what they're going to say, which is open enough that it feels living and breathing, because all of these characters have their own cycle that they go through. And especially with some of the more complex quests, like the lovers quest, where like they go through like a full 3-day cycle of things they do and the way you interact with them. So that's kind of, it is almost cheating. Like the time travel thing is kind of cheating by condensing the possible gameplay encounters to just these 3 days, but being able to reset them gives you the opportunity to kind of like experience all of it. But at the same time, it's such a brilliant way of introducing it. And I guess Majora's Mask isn't really an open world, kind of. It's, I don't know, it's like a mix. It's like an early open world where they didn't have the technology for everything to be loaded into one giant map, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want even from an open world. I guess I can do both. I know, for example, that Cyberpunk, which is one of the quintessential modern open world experience, I didn't feel like the open world gave me much in that. I just kind of went from point A to point B and enjoyed my time within these locales.
Yeah, I played this game for like 4 hours or so, and I never really felt interested in like walking around and exploring the place, because I tried that like one time. I tried to go like into a store that seemed kind of interesting, and the game just wouldn't let me. And it was just a painted wall basically with like nothing inside. And I was like, okay, I guess there's not really a point in me for walking around and trying to look at cool things, because there's no cool things to like look at.
It's like they put so much effort into making this living world, and it still feels dead because they never go the extra mile of making. That's the GTA problem, where for the longest time people want a GTA where you can go into every single building. That's the one thing that everyone has thought about when playing one of these games. When I've played Vice City, when I played San Andreas, when I played any other game that had like an open world, what if you could just go in every single building? And it's like, from a gameplay or like from a development perspective, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's just too much work. And it's also like it would break every single, like, you'd have to have so much like work put into having like stuff load on demand or whatever by, like, going into an apartment building. It loads every single apartment that you can just break into, and then there's like a character in there. It's gonna be so much effort. And I think Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of did that, where I think you can enter every building, but it's like, since there's only settlements, there's only so many places. It's not like a giant city.
Yeah,
with,
it's
like,
the
a million
Wild West. Like,
apartments.
what the hell is gonna be
Yeah.
there for in terms of
Like
civilization? Not
90%
a whole
is
lot.
just pastures,
Yeah.
and then there's like so it does make, but it does, honestly, it's brilliant because that world, I'm assuming, because I haven't played 2 yet, but at least I remember the first game feeling very alive and coherent because, like, it makes sense for the setting that they're not so many buildings, but I don't even remember if you can go into every building in Red Dead Redemption 1. It's a really old game, but it feels alive enough. And I think I played GTA 5 recently for the first time. It's been over 10 years since the game came out, I believe. And it feels fun for an arcade title, but it doesn't feel like the world's alive, really. It still feels like very much like the old games where everything is just painted on, and that's unfortunate because I feel like that's why I guess making the jump to a full immersive open world, it's actually really difficult, and we already have Rockstar trying that, and they basically have to treat all of the game developers like slaves in order to get the suboptimal experience. I don't want to push them even further into, like, I mean, I guess they could just hire more developers, but they've been working a trillion years on GTA 6 and it's still probably gonna be slop. So I don't know, maybe we haven't figured out the solution yet for making such a game, or maybe we're asking for too much. And because when we look at immersive, fun, open world, or like even worlds that feel alive, we can point to like very, very old games where the world already feels alive. So it's like,
Yeah.
maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's not about like being able to enter every building, but maybe the illusion that the places that we get to explore just feel alive enough that we don't need to enter every building. But that's a hard thing for a game developer to figure out, I guess.
Yeah, I think Enfield did a pretty good job in that regard. And now, the more I think about it, the more I have to say, Enfield doesn't even really feel like an open world game. I mean, it has a world, and you are open to explore most of it, but all the important parts are like very curated, like very railroady, and aim to give you a very specific experience, which isn't a bad thing per se, because the experience is fun. You know, they are railroading you into the quest, and then you experience the quest the way it is intended. And on the side, you also have a little bit of areas that you can walk around in and explore. So it doesn't really feel like an open world game in the same sense as Breath of the Wild is an open world game. And I think maybe that's for the better.
It works for what they're trying to achieve, and I think that's a good thing. Overall, the City of Ruling doesn't really have things for you to do in them in the context of like immersing yourself in the world. It's very much just a pretty piece of art that you can walk around in, and it has a lot of things that give you the illusion that this is like an alive world, and it's fun to explore it. I really liked walking through Ruling and exploring it, and looking at all the little bits and pieces they did. But overall, you don't interact with them, and you can't really influence it. So it's very much still a world that does feel non-alive. So it's, but that's okay because I never expected it to be, and I don't think Enfield tries to be that. They just wanna give you a world where you can kind of like where you can kind of like find little bits of fun environmental building, finding all the chubby signs
Yeah.
in Wuling is very fun. So I think that's enough because the gameplay doesn't like facilitate or like doesn't benefit from having more interaction. I guess you don't have. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what they're gonna do with it. But I think the way Enfield does it is fine.
Mhm.
It fulfills a different purpose, and I think the game lives or dies by the way they actually design their places. And I think the most world building is still happening in the files. The reading is still
Yeah.
the core aspect of the world building.
Pretty much.
The worlds are just supplemental to give you like a visual, but
Which I
world building
appreciate.
does.
I mean, compared to
Yeah.
what we had in Arknights, Arknights had like great world building, but it was a lot of reading, and at some points I would have really wished that I had some kind of like 3D art piece I could walk around in. Like if there was like a 3D art piece version of Rhodes Islands I could walk around in and like look at the little bits of pieces to like complement my mental image, I would be like, wow, this is awesome. This is great.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I do like that. It's fun because like everyone has like their own imagination of what Rhodes Island looked like.
Hmm.
We obviously have all these backgrounds with like the hallways and stuff. We know what the hallways look like.
Yeah.
We know what the cafeteria looks like. We know know like what the deck looks like. For me, it's just a giant like it's a ship like a small nomadic city. No, it's not a nomadic city, but it builds on the same technology. But it's just like a
Yeah.
roaming around like a
Basically a
giant
big
fortress,
car that 2,000
Yeah.
people live in.
Right, and it would be kind of fun to see what their vision for Rhodes Island is. I mean, it's not unlikely, it's not impossible that we ever get to see that. It's obviously still on Terra somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think they brought it through the gate, and
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
think
No,
there
but
might be like a branch on Talos 2, a Rhode Island branch somewhere,
yeah.
but it's just gonna be a bunch of offices.
Yeah, but rather than that, what I instead hope we're gonna get is a bigger Dijang. The Dijang we have right now is pretty cool visually, but I want to explore all the little nooks and crannies. I want to explore the
Yeah.
entirety of the Dijang and like see the living quarters that are like on the map, but we can't go there because it's blocked
Right.
off. I want to go to all these places and see how the people on the Dijang live. You know, it's basically gonna be the new Rhodes Island, and it's pretty cool.
I want more, again, more verticality. I love the idea of a spaceship that has like life in it. So
Mhm.
they would have like a park area. They would have like actually agriculture and stuff. You know, stuff that like people need in order to live, and then like cafeteria and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of the early mecha animes and stuff like that. They always have like these giant space colonies, right? Where
Mhm.
there's like people living in there, and it's like so much fun to have like a contained village in space, and everything is like kind of revolving around this place. And Dijon just feels like a couple of rooms basically right now.
Yeah.
And it would be more fun if they kind of like made this place come more alive.
Yeah.
It's more than just like white hallways, but actually having like cool places where people can recuperate and stuff like that. It feels fun. Like the stuff that's there right now, it's kind of cool and it looks amazing. Like the art direction is really good, but right now what we're actually seeing of the place is kind of limited, which
Yeah.
I wish they kind of make new places for us to explore. Maybe I should put that in a survey.
Yeah.
Make more Dijon.
Yeah, more Dijang.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta go and eat lunch, but before I
Sure.
do that, and end the stream, I'm gonna do the thing that you were talking about, where you open up Arknights, and there's a new banner. You don't really care about the banner. There's like Fiametta and Panis right now looking at me, so judgmentally, and it says right there, guarantees a 5-star or higher operators in the next 10 rolls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do single pulls until I pull a 5-star. And
Hell yeah.
maybe I'm gonna get jump scared by Fiametta. Let's see what happens.
That would be pretty cool.
9. Okay. 8. Okay. Not looking good right now. You said yes to tempo? This is basically a tempo. Stop crying.
We're just keeping the suspense.
I said up to tempo. Didn't you read the fine print? Okay. The last time I did this, like last week on the other banner, this one, I got really unlucky. I literally had to go all the way to 10. You can see it right there. Focus selection total times 10. I had to go all the way to 10 to get my 5-star. And I was like, ugh. I was like, my precious pools that I'm saving up for something I actually care about. Oh no. Endfield looking a little bit different. I know. Oh! Alright. Alright, 99% of gamblers. It's not gonna be me today. Look at that. Undeserved!
Damn.
Undeserved. Yeah. Let's see what we get. Poliak!
Okay. What is she doing here?
Literally, what is she doing here? Well,
What are you doing here?
it's
You
not
already have her
it's not a fear meta that I wanted, but we take the 6 stars, you know, it's okay. It's a fool. I will never, like, realistically, this 1 minus DP is never gonna whatever, we take it. We take it. Alright. It's fine. I still have, like, a lot of pools. I have, like, 200 pools saved up for Mantra as releasing probably this month or next month. We'll see. And then there's Silver Ash Altar, and then there's Monster Hunter. It's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna get them in my first 10 pools, and I'm not gonna have any regret about what I just did whatsoever. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, it sounds good. You didn't spend much, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's just 5 pools. It's fine. Alright. Are you gonna keep streaming or no?
I was thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna just do some productivity off stream. There's no point for me to continue. Well, we have done all we needed to do, and I guess I'll be back tomorrow, I believe, to do more stuff.
Alright.
That was a fun stream.
Yeah, I had fun.
We got to see all the new stuff that's coming in Enfield, and we'll be excited to see what the game has.
I'm ready. I've been saving all these pools. Ooh, and Tung Tung and Rossi are gonna be mine. You just wait, and then you're all gonna rue the day.
Hell yeah. Well, I thank everyone for showing up. I hope you guys had fun, and I guess I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Maybe.